Sound.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Temptations of Ait'seh with What Team Comp. I'm your host, the Uncommon Guru, hoping that we have better sound this time because it's been good. It's been behaving. Don't fuck with me, OBS.
Don't fuck
There's
this
a
up.
bone in my stomach.
Oh no.
But when we last left off, you guys had been making your way. You actually had gotten across the pond of the Provost Sea to Corvin, where you found out a few little things, like that there's Nefertiti off up here, and you guys are currently making your way down this way. You're planning on swinging by Delanash, but as you guys were going about, there was a bit of a mishap, one might say, in that you guys, as you were going, bumped into a flock, a murder of crows, if you will, a murder of undead crows, if you will. You guys worked with Fiven, your guide, and were able to drive them off, but I believe we left off with you guys at that point. So you guys have just slain the foul-winged avianary pains in your ass. So what would you guys like to do?
I'm no longer a T-Rex.
You're no longer a T-Rex. This is also true.
Neither is the horse,
The
right?
horse. Yes,
Yeah.
the horse also.
It fades off at the
No,
same time,
no.
so.
I true polymorph that one. He is forever.
He will forever be your friendly neighborhood T-Rex.
That's fine. T-Rexes are cute.
Get him a bowler hat.
Get him a bowler hat and just...
As long as he pulls the cart.
Oh yeah, he'll pull the cart. He'll just pull it a lot
Dude,
faster than...
That's the best, thing to pull a cart. Well, you wouldn't go. Imagine being a bandit. You wouldn't walk up to that thing.
You see a T-Rex, you're just like,
Goddamn T-Rex.
let's rob the next one.
I'm just imagining that fucking scene from Lord of the Rings. It still only counts as one. That's what I
Basically.
can think.
Okay, well, now that combat's over, can I divine sense now?
Yes. So mark that off.
Yep.
There is a lingering. It's like basically just the last few of the crows that are just dying out, kind of flailing their wings as they're just, finally essentially cut off, if you will. But they are pinging with the feeling of undeath. I'm giving this to you now, but know in the future that when you kill shit, you can't just divine sense them after they've been killed. And when they're dead, they're dead.
Yeah.
I'm letting you know for next time, because if you want
Beforehand,
to,
but,
divine sense them, you gotta divine sense them.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, it was. We said last time it was mainly to see if the land was hollowed and thing.
Yes, but
Well, I also wanted to check for that.
the
so.
land has, as of the moment, still clean. Does not feel unhollowed. Does not feel hollowed, but also does not feel unhollowed.
I really don't
Desecrated.
like these fucking undead / devils being in places that are, at the very least, not desecrated areas.
I mean, they're winged avianary
They gotta
entities.
go back home.
How did they get here? They flew.
Where they came from.
But that thing back where it came from, so help me. So help me. So
No.
help me. Cat.
Oh, goodness. No, but I was just kind of looking at them. And actually, I'll pick... can I pick one up, or do they look like they are just, like, dissolving kind of deal?
They're not dissolving. Like, granted, like some of it looks like it's slightly rotted, but beyond that, it's not a how do I put it? Their parts of their body are very quickly deteriorating, but it's not like if you pick them up, they're just going to turn to mush in your hands.
Then I'll pick one up and kind of give it a closer inspection. Does it look like the
Horse.
the horse?
Similar.
Can I get a better idea of what might be affecting this? If I roll an Arcana check or something?
No, this would actually be a medicine check first.
Oh boy, hold on. I gotta open my character sheet. I have everything open.
accept your character sheet.
Oh no, it reloaded. Okay. It's like my computer decides at the freaking mouse. My computer decides at the most inopportune time, as well as my mouse apparently, when it wants to reload my my fucking internet browser. Hold on. Note for the future: Atlas Animalia does not make a good place to put the mouse. It makes the mouse tip jump back and forth. I guess because of the texture. Medicine! Ooh, 16!
Whatever this is, like, they're still technically, like, parts of, like, the inside. Like, you're seeing, like, part, like, of the flesh rotting, but, like, some of the insides and whatnot still look like it should be from a healthy creature.
What?
Some of it, obviously, not all of it, but this is a creature that is, by all accounts of medicine, a living creature that is suffering from necrosis.
May I roll an Arcana check now, or did I need a higher medicine thing?
Roll an Arcana check now.
Yay! 15.
No, that's fine. It's similar to the horse that you guys encountered. It's this living necrosis that you saw from the mountain, which, if they got this far, that means they probably came from across the water, or maybe have been transported here in some manner.
Is it possible that I would know potentially what... Oh wait, okay, duh, this looks like the work of the lab.
Yes.
That's what you're saying, okay.
Yes.
My brain stopped, I'm sorry.
Granted, you don't know if this is something that's, like, you've handled this sort of creature before with the horse, but there is no infection that you guys received. This seems to be animal-centric at the moment, which means it's likely that just these birds were affected. You might want to burn the corpses just to be sure, but...
Can I ask? I can obviously make a theory, because if I'm coming up with it, my character's most likely coming to it.
That's your theory.
But I have a question for you. Does this seem like it would be too far for them to make? If that makes sense? Like, it feels too far from the source for them to have been infected from that source?
That's up to you. From this, I'd say that would be an intelligence check to gauge the distance.
16 again.
You'd guess, based off of that, it's possible, but because of the fact that you're on Valienne's on the other side of the Colossi Walk, something would have had to have transported it to make sure, if you will.
Okay. So she'll set the body down, and she'll pull out a torch. If anyone wants to inspect this now, say it, because otherwise I'm going to start burning it.
I mean, I'll take note of it for reference purposes in case we come across something similar, so I have a point to draw from. But, I mean, that's about it.
Viric's fine with it.
Are there trees around?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any dead bodies other than the birds?
Roll a perception check.
My foot is itchy. I think I got heat rash. No.
Looking around, you do see that there does appear to be a shadow of something towards the forest area. But you can't get a good look from here. You'd have to approach it.
How far away does it seem?
150, 300 feet.
I will turn to, like, closest person. Like Zadim, maybe. And, I'll whisper, like, there's something over there. I think it's, like, Might be a body, I don't know.
Oh boy. Alright, let us see. And I'll, walk over there with her.
Yeah, I'll tell Vidric and Ivara that we're going.
Okay.
And where we're going.
Just in case. You know how they are.
We worry about our beans.
Yes, it's not a bad thing.
Beans.
Would you like me to come with you? I mean, I don't think it could hurt.
Yeah, alright.
Sure.
So you guys approach. The body that you see appears to be that of a pack mule that looks like it's been attacked. It does have a number of bags on them. It looks like some of them look like they've been dragged off a ways before another bit of trail looks like it's going deeper into the forest. So it looks like this was maybe someone's mule that was attacked, and then whoever that person was tried to either come back for something to that extent, and when they tried to, well, it doesn't appear to have gone over well, as they appear to have run off.
Does it look like the mule has been, pecked at?
Yes.
Yes.
And you said there are some bags left over.
Yes.
What's in the bags?
Mostly it looks to be trade items, bits of grains and such as that. That's mostly food stuff, if you will. There is a bag that looks like it has a. I should roll an investigation check.
Yeah, alright.
I'll help him.
Okay.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'll guidance.
I'll take that.
Let me make sure I have it first before you roll it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I do.
Is this the character I have guidance on?
That is an
Oh,
actual
no.
legit question you can ask sometimes. Be like, wait, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
I play a lot of support, man. A lot of my characters have guidance.
He's got a point.
My roll 20 had it reload, so that's why it's taking me a while to figure it out.
No
You're
worries.
fine. I feel like I have to sneeze, but it's stuck, and I can't do anything about it. It's pissing me off.
Slap the bridge of your nose.
You know what now?
I said slap the bridge of your nose. Just with your finger. Not with your whole hand,
Slap
Punch
me.
yourself in the nose.
Vibe check.
Vibe check your own nostrils.
You made it go away, I fuck sure.
Alright.
Ami, are you behind me? No, okay, you're over there.
Your connection to the server has been interrupted. Fine.
Yeah.
It's like, it is next to impossible to find this fucking dog in my room. Because I never have the lights on and she's
Turn
pitch
on the
black.
light, yeah. I said turn on the light.
I don't like the light. I am a gremlin by nature. Why are you on my headset cord?
You're fine.
Yes, this one has guidance. Go on.
Oh,
man.
sweet.
Go on.
Alright. Investigation. Alright, it's a 19.
Nice.
Yep. With a 19, as you're looking it over, your hands just kind of run across certain areas. You do find that on the bottom of one of the packs, as you're turning it over, you feel that there's something kind of off about it, because it's got grain and stuff in it, but as you put your hand against it, you feel that there's a little part of your finger, like your thumb, that goes into it, and then you can push in. You realize there's actually a sewed-on hidden flap that when you reach
false bottom.
A false bottom, yes. That when you reach in and pull it out, it has a bag of looks like extra loose change, if you will.
Alright, how much we got?
I mean, it sounds like the guy's still alive, so I don't know if he would appreciate us looting it.
It's
I
fine.
mean, if we find him, we can give it back to him, but not much else we can do.
If we don't,
Just snap his neck. Just make him sleep.
see, the
Fuck
crows
this.
killed him,
Go fuck yourself.
but his neck was crows, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dangerous creatures.
Oh yeah, when you actually look into it, it's got like a lot of silver, maybe 20 gold in it.
Alright.
So this wasn't like the most like frugal person at the same time, but it's like a little seller, if you will.
Spare change.
Spare change.
Spare
You
change.
got spare change.
Spare change, man. Spare coochie.
I was waiting for it. Alright, I'll go back. Is there anything else, like, in the bags or near the mule? And you said the marks went off into the woods?
Yes, like someone running, if you will. Not trying to hide themselves at all, just running.
Okay. Does it look like there's any marks to indicate what would have been chasing them, or can we presume it was probably the crows?
You see no marks other than the footprints, so you can presume what you want.
Uh-huh. And there aren't any marks on, like, the trees or the brush in the tree line to indicate something that might have been running after this dude?
Say again?
Nothing like broken branches or
Oh yeah, plenty of
disturbed
them.
grass.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
it looks
yeah,
like he was
from
like
him,
stumbling
but-
and running around, but other than that, make a survival check.
Okay. No guidance for this.
Every time Mad starts like singing shit like this, I just imagine him tap dancing.
Oh, hey, nice.
Completely undisturbed except for where the mule and this person had been moving about. There's
Oh.
nothing else that has disturbed this area. There's a few areas where it does look like a bird had landed on it. He just wants to see if it can be up to a 30.
Nice.
So it is up to a 30. Yeah.
Fucking dead.
There are areas where like there's like bird tracks, like they bouncing around and stuff like that. And you actually are able to find buried in the crook of some of the roots, which you wouldn't have been able to see because it's like just caked with mud, is a boot.
A single boot.
A single boot.
Mm.
There a
Going
snake
to
in it?
have a good time out there. Is it a nice boot or is it just like
It's
whatever?
a merchant's boot. They've
It's a
walked
merchant.
around a lot and it's well worn in if you're looking for
What
something
are you
like
gonna
that.
do? Fucking steal it?
I mean, no,
Sell.
I'm gonna leave it there.
Sell.
I'm gonna leave it
Boot.
to the mule if the guy ever comes back. So at least he has this, if not his like hidden away change purse.
I mean, hey,
there's,
that
like-
boot can come in handy.
I'm not taking the man's single boot. I have no use for it.
You just like put a snake in it and leave it out for someone else.
That's just fucking rude.
Mildly.
There's a snake in my boot. I'm
Not
sorry.
my boot.
That was the
No,
joke.
that's what I meant.
Oh no, I just wanted to say it.
So I'll heft the coin purse and I'll turn around with the boot and I'll put the boot next to the mule and then I'll say, well, I do believe it was the crows that chased him into the forest because there are no other tracks of anything else besides him wandering around. A bit off kilter, I imagine, because he lost his boot. So,
Another thing you would notice with the 30 is
Yeah.
that this area has probably not had other foot traffic in the last 2 weeks or so. Maybe, give or take. It's not an exact thing, just,
yeah,
give or take.
within like the last week, 2 weeks.
Between 3 and 1 week.
Well,
Wait,
between
so-
3 and 1 week, okay.
As I said,
So
2 is
there's
a...
there's no tracks for this person's footsteps.
No, there are plenty of them running
Oh.
out.
Plenty of
the forest.
footsteps. He made no
He made-
other footprints except some bird prints,
Yes.
which leads me to believe that it was the crows that was chasing this guy around and why he has not come back.
I love the
Or
idea
anything
that
else.
these crows were chasing him on foot.
They just fucking happen
Get
after.
him, boys.
Oh my god, that would be horrible. I would fucking die immediately because I would be laughing my ass off. Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'll just like, I'll say we can like go back over to Riedrick and Ivara and show them what we found.
Well, that's saddening. And she looks in the direction that you pointed at the man's tracks went. I've been chased by blue jays before, but damn, I can't imagine being chased by undead crows.
Where do the tracks lead?
Into the forest.
How fresh are they?
Not very. There has not been much travel within these parts in the last roughly 2 weeks, I would say. I believe the crows have kept this place rather well guarded.
Yeah, they shouldn't be here, by the way.
Are those tracks that old?
Which tracks are you referencing?
Talking about the merchants, the ones going into the woods.
That's more within a
They
week.
seem to be about a week or so old. More than likely he came back to try and salvage things and did not have a good time of it.
But I'm always kind of looking at Zadim like, damn, that was cold even for you.
In that case, if they're not that fresh, then there's no use in following them.
He's probably long gone at this point. And that typically is how nature works. Not necessarily like this.
He'll gesture to the burning pyre of crows that you've created.
But sometimes you run afoul of a wild animal, and it does not go your way.
I.e., the thing don't like you. They shouldn't be here. And yes, I know it's painfully obvious, undead crows shouldn't be anywhere, but if it is the same type of crow that is like the horses and such, it's too far for them to have traveled here.
So either this thing has a method of spreading over far distances, or it travels much faster than we anticipate.
That, or it was transported here. Which means that if it was done that way, we have another part of that, well, quite frankly, cult in this region.
Well, that will be fun to discover, won't it?
Will it, though?
It will be interesting at the very least.
Fucking Goon confusing the shit out of me in the background. Sorry, go on. He Goose opens my sheet and starts working on shit. He's like, okay.
What was the name of that cult again?
Hold on, let me check my nose, let me check my nose, let me check my nose.
I have
Fuck
been
it, I
taking
put
too
it.
many notes lately.
Right,
Aren't
so
they called
Re-Dead Heretics. Is that what it is? No.
What'd you say, Ziddy?
The true is the true. Okay.
Oh, I'd say that's less of a cult. Yeah, kind of a cult. It's a cult as much as, like, Westboro Baptist type church, like, dickhead churches are a cult, I guess, right?
I mean, the ones that were in charge of that, cave we found, so.
they were practically a freaking cult with their beliefs.
One of the groups they're looking for is... Yeah, they're called the True. It's the True.
Thank you. Because I didn't write it down. I wrote down the redid research, but...
What was the whole name? The True of Ait'seh or something like that?
The true inheritors of Ait'seh, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is why I would have loved for our group to be named the Bastards of Ait'seh, but...
Was it the True Inheritors or the True... Fuck. Sorry, now I'm looking.
Sure, was it the true inheritors, right? Am I going crazy or no?
Depends on who you ask.
I think it is True Inheritance, yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, the true of Ait'seh. That's what I put down. True inheritors. Yep. Okay. So our guide that I also forget the name too.
Fivin.
Fivin. Virik will turn to Fivin and ask, have you heard of the true inheritors of Ait'seh?
You saying they did this? That's a bit of a jump. I mean, they're socially rowdy and get up in people's faces and shit like that, but I've not seen them
We've
do
already
anything
found
like
a base where they've
Have
done
I?
this to people, animals.
Hold on. 1 second here. I need to DM this to you real quick.
To
To
who?
whom?
To Butters.
To Butters.
Oh, I would say I think for certain reasons there's no way Axelrod wouldn't know who they are, but we'll
You
see.
say these things, but
No, I'm pretty certain. Somewhat.
Hold on.
What is he into? Who did we hire?
You guys hired one of the weirdest ones you could have.
Oh, yeah.
Just know that. No,
Sure.
the weirdest. Backstory-wise, the weirdest. Personality-wise, the chillest. So,
We went for ability and personality.
Oh, yep.
We really did.
you
God, I
guys
want
got
this for us.
baggage. Haha.
Of course.
everyone has baggage in this. Join the club.
True.
I don't.
This was
Zadine, shut the fuck up. It's just like Alonin, Matt. It's just like fucking Alonin.
It's really
In a
not.
fucking group of orphans, Alonin's the one.
Yeah, I spelled that right.
Watch Don give you baggage somehow.
I know, he's
all of a
going
sudden.
to. Right now, I don't have any.
Okay, wait a minute. Wait, huh?
Hold on.
Okay, this just changed this entire. What Guru just sent me changes this entire campaign.
Oh,
Oh no.
What the fuck?
Hold on.
I didn't know one sentence could be this powerful, Guru.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, while he's doing that, are any of you hurt?
I
Oh,
don't think I took damage.
I didn't take damage. I know Bright Eyes took some damage.
me and the horse I know did.
I don't remember how much though because I was using my character model for her. So let me see.
Everybody that was hurt, heal 13. Just do it that.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's full health, so.
Yeah.
I
Just
think
if
it's
you're
just me and
hurt.
the horse.
Yeah, I have.
That
It's
one
better than
isn't gonna
spending
work.
2 spell slots. So yeah, I'll just do a second level prayer of healing throughout 10 minutes on the group.
Okay. And what about? I mean, I don't know who's in charge of Spartacus' sheet. So.
Spent a
You all
couple hit
are.
die too, just to be on the safe
Oh,
side.
where is the sheet?
Should be under
There it
partners
is.
and allies.
Okay.
That sucks.
I'm gonna assume this is up to date, so I'll
Yeah,
update
so
it.
up his health by 13.
There we go.
This is 13. 56.
She's a good girl.
I don't think Black Book got any.
Okay, I'll say that was enough.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Just if you're hurt, 13 should help a bit. Is Riedrich still hurt after that?
Yeah, a little.
And top you off.
Oh,
Just fucking. There you go.
cool. Thank you.
Just
You
top
will
you off.
appreciate.
Yeah.
Wizard doesn't appreciate anything. Holy crap.
Like, he could have taken care of it, but he appreciates this. This is what he got hired for.
Yeah. I took down those things with 1 spell pretty much, so. Or helped take down those things with 1 spell, I should say.
I was about
Alright.
to say, I'm like, bitch!
I took them down single-handedly.
And then, for my next trick, I'm going to get back that spell slot that I didn't know was being used. The one that Guru used for the, fucking fireball. I'm getting back a 3rd level. Just in case.
Oh, my nose is itchy.
Oops.
Oh fuck! How many sorcery points is that actually gonna take to get back that fucking
Doesn't it
spell?
take 6 or something like that?
Something like that. Let's see. 5. Oh, sure. It's worth it.
Well,
Sorry about that. I'm getting an info dump right now. Remember when I said there was no way my character wouldn't? Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some shit he's learning that he knew about and is like, wait, hold on, I knew about that. Oh, okay.
Fun.
Oh yes.
oh shit, my shit broke. No!
Don't break.
One of my rings broke in my game. Oh no.
Okay,
Never
this is so
got
hard to comprehend via fucking text. Okay, this is confusing. Oh,
What part don't you understand? Just type it out.
a lot. Okay, I'll begin.
Yes.
That's my first big one.
Uh.
Number 2. This must be some fun content to watch.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's all that would have been said.
Oh. Okay. If I have more questions, I'll DM you later. That's good enough for now.
Gotcha.
Okay. Okay, that changes things.
A few things, I would imagine.
Yeah.
It's a good thing that these are early things in your character, and not things that are like 17 episodes in, going, wait, this is a thing.
If I survive 13 episodes,
We'll see.
characters that survive shorter. Rest in peace, Raph.
Poor
Yes.
Raph.
He just didn't roll good, honestly.
Yo, he was great for those 3 fucking episodes.
For the 3 episodes, he was amazing. I was looking forward to him, and then he rolled low on his wisdom saves.
Yep.
It just
Okay.
happens,
Plus 7. Couldn't roll a 15 to save his fucking life.
I know,
Alright,
right?
so- no, it was a plus 9. But yeah. Okay, yeah, let's get back into it. Alright, boys. Okay, continue. I wasn't even a part of that conversation. You didn't ask me shit.
Okay.
Yeah, they've caused issues and such, but nothing like motions to the bonfire. I mean, that's certainly something.
She looks at Beardrick. I'm going to assume that you and I both agree that this is some shit that they most likely did, right?
When we were in the other cave or whatever, we were able to find evidence they were behind that gooey horse thing, right?
The gooey horse thing, yes. It mentioned a escaped issue, if you will, that they were just like, we have had nothing to do with that from that point. We've just basically been getting people out and leaving it at that. Nothing happened at all.
Yeah.
What are you people talking about again? If you mind me buttoning it, that is.
She looks at Beardrick.
He looks at him and say it. He'll say the true inheritors of Ait'seh. Do you know anything?
I about raises kind of for it, like one of them just like thinking. A little. Not. I don't know. I don't have expansive knowledge on if that's what you're asking. But I know enough that, from what I see, I'm pretty sure they don't like undead. From what I know, or certain kinds of undead at the very least. They're very. Yeah, it's just the. I have you seen them create undead before?
They don't create these things on purpose. This is what happens when their experiment fails.
The horse wasn't undead, from what I remember. It was weird, but not undead. There was no
The horse
traces of
was
undead.
undead, but
I
not
thought there was no
undead.
traces of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was undead but not undead, like Paris said.
But you don't
Just
know
like
about
these
the horse in
birds.
character,
Oh, yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like these birds,
So-
they're, like I said, technically speaking, they are alive, but they do still have a ping of undead to them.
So, if they did it, there's probably a reason behind it, I guess.
To find a way to try and get rid of my kind, was their reasoning.
Ain't no reason they maybe let it out.
Wait, what? I'm sorry, repeat that.
Maybe the reason it got let out is what I'm saying, is the reason I'm confused. Because they
Well-
have their own motives. It's not like they're just doing things recklessly with no thought put into it.
She raised her eyebrow. Forgive me for being suspicious, but you seem to defend them awfully hard.
I don't defend them. I think they probably aren't the best people from what I know about them. I don't know anything definite. I know they don't like things like undead. They don't like things. They fucking hate fiends. I know that for a fact. They are iffy about the Fae. But that is getting to my extent of my knowledge. They very much hate some kind of undead. Fucking despise fiends. And are weird about Fae. I don't know about the followers, like warlocks. I guess that's what you are. So I don't pay attention to that stuff much. Sorry, but I'm not sure how they feel about them. I'm guessing they specifically don't like the ones that follow fiends, and
They don't
the ones
like
that
any
follow
of us.
undead creatures. I disagree, but yes, okay. Well, I don't think
You're
they like
welcome to
any of you,
disagree,
I
but
think they
I've already
see
dealt with
some
enough
of you
people.
as useful.
Yeah, Celestials.
And Faye.
No.
Okay.
One has already attempted to get rid of me.
Well, have you been a problem to them?
No.
I mean, your group, if they know about your group, you would be seen as a problem to them. But yes, I get what you're going from. Definitely.
Everyone looks at Beardrick.
He's just been listening. He's pretty stoic right now.
I was looking between this all, just like, what the fuck am I
Oh, you
missing?
mean the standard behavior?
Yeah, he's pretty
Standing
unreadable.
straight, frowning gravely in the sun.
In the sun!
I mean, I wish I knew all their dealings and what they're doing and everything, but I've done research into them in the past, but I didn't get too much. My researches are quite sporadic and random to my feeling, and I came across them in reading in passing before, and after that I looked further into it. But not much other than that.
Excuse me.
Mm. I'm thinking.
Are you thinking in the sense that there might be more conversation, or thinking about what we have to do next?
Yeah, I'm debating if he's gonna say anything or not. Maybe not for now.
My eye itches.
This.
Well, carry on.
Sorry. He kind of looks at the fire and he's like, the closest we've seen to this is that horse in the Capitol. And that was. The True were responsible for that. We have no
The horse
reason
in
to
the
think they wouldn't be.
The horse in the Capitol and the creatures that we found in their little base.
I have no reason to think they wouldn't be responsible for this.
So they've got their influence. Their influence reaches far. I don't know if it reaches out to here, and I'm fucking nowhere. So that's something to note at the very least. They're everywhere then.
I mean, Fibbin did just say that they see them around. They just don't see them as a threat.
Yeah, they've been at most nuisance. Not creators of things like this.
Have you ever seen anything like this around here before?
No, this is new.
It's new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm
No,
sorry.
Haru.
I started laughing.
I
Very
do have a
different.
question.
Hmm.
Not to you, Gert.
Hmm.
This is actual. You said you pissed off some evil nobles, correct?
Yes.
You don't think they're part of the working with the True, right?
When did we piss them off? We haven't interacted with them. She looks as again, we're very confused.
Not personally, but I would imagine at some point they were aware that someone, if not specifically us, was following them.
You're cutting in and out, bad.
He was fine for me.
He's cutting it out for me.
I said, not us specifically, but I imagine that they had figured out at some point that somebody was following them.
Yeah. That's fair enough to say.
Following them and
Yeah.
fucking up every single thing they were doing in their path. It was just them messing something up, us immediately correct. So it was like everything they were doing was getting fucking undone.
How do we kill them? We can't. What?
Yeah.
So do you think they have anything to do with the True then? Because I believe you said they were doing something with the inverse plane, so if they would be connected with the True, that means that the True could be very much everywhere. Because, well, they could even be on different planes, I guess, right?
Maybe. We have never seen anything to suggest they are working together, but such an alliance would not be very well advertised. It's possible.
When we were talking with that dude in the cave before, I know he mentioned a couple other groups they were looking for and stuff, but we never mentioned anything on either side about the nobles, right?
As far as I know, no.
Yeah,
Don't think so.
I don't think we've heard anything for or against it
Yet.
yet.
I fucking love the idea. Fucking one day, Bo casting sending to that fucking mind flare and just hoping it goes through. She's like, hey there, how's it going?
I need help.
Small one from the caverns.
You seem less
Maybe you need to
depressed
grab
from when we
something.
last talked.
I am with my friends again. It is good.
No, I'm talking about Bo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, good. Be right back.
That's alright, yeah. Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
food must be there.
Fuck food.
Sometimes something that can be seen as a coincidence is quite the opposite, but sometimes just is that. So who knows?
Well, we can't confirm either way for now.
Yes.
Well, let's get back in the car and get on back on the road, because currently we can't do shit about this other than burn the bodies.
I will go over and burn the mule too.
Good idea.
I, for 2 seconds, forgot that we have a horse and not a mule and thought you were talking about the...
Spartacus is a horse. He is a strong, independent helper of the party.
I am so used to... Wait, Spartacus's nose should be going nuts.
Oh yeah, no, he's sniffing the air, just looking at you all like, really?
I completely forgot until, like, literally 2 days ago that this horse is trained to track undead.
Mm-hmm.
The man smells out undead. That's funny.
Oh yeah.
I totally forgot to.
So yeah. Also,
So we have a warning.
about 2 weeks ago, you said you were gonna ask me questions that she wanted to know about the inverse plane. That never happened, and I find it funny that I just remembered that.
2 weeks ago, I was gonna ask why.
You were gonna send me because you said I was too tired to think of it now. I'll ask you later questions Navarro would ask you about the inverse plane.
Oh,
2
yeah.
weeks ago.
Oh, that's right.
Hang on, be right back.
I will cast Speak with Animals, and I'll go over after I've started up the fire on the mule.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, gotcha.
Yes, so I imagine that you are rather concerned with all of the undead in the area.
Yeah, no kidding. There've been undead all over the place. I've been sniffing at the air, and it's been just like, it smells real bad.
It was all of the birds that were attacking. They were a strange type of undead that we have encountered before, but it is still a very unusual type.
You sure? It's been smelling weird for a while.
A while how?
I mean, since we got here at least.
I'm back.
I think.
In this country, or
What?
in this country, like after we left the boat, or longer or less time than that?
Left the boat?
The big thing that took us over the water.
Oh, that thing. I mean, I guess. I lost track of time on that thing. I was just like, It just did not feel like a good thing. Yeah,
Yes.
he's talking to Spartacus. It did not feel like a good time at all.
Makes sense. You are used to the land.
I like having my
Goodbye.
feet under me and not making me bump up against the sides of things all the time, like bonk, bonk, bonk.
That is a fair way to go about your life. But you are saying that you smelled undead after you left the boat?
Yeah,
In the town we were in?
yeah.
Just basically going, fuck.
Nobody asked me. So I figured that it wasn't a problem.
Try to nudge one of us the next time you smell undead, just to make sure we are also on the same page.
What if I end up just bumping you all the time?
I would rather that, to be quite honest.
Oh wait, is he saying he's been smelling undead this whole time?
No one's talked to him.
No, I'm talking about because he said that means I'd be bumping you this whole. That means he keeps smelling it perpetually.
Something
Well,
in
I'm
the
glad
wind.
that I remembered this.
If you must, do it every half an hour if it does not change.
How would you know how to tell time?
Every...
I'll try.
Do you know how long it takes to walk 300 steps?
How many?
It's an animal!
If Grog Strongjaw can count to 5, what makes you think this fucking horse can count higher?
I forget how high his intelligence is.
His intelligence
Not
is
very
under
high.
6.
3.
Yeah.
It's a 3 intelligence?
Yeah.
Alright. So we don't go like that.
Yeah.
This is a very sweet animal. That does not mean that it's an intelligent animal.
When it gets dark, I'll try and bump you if I smell anything still, and if it's morning time when the sun comes up, I'll bump you again if I still smell stuff.
Also bump me when we stop to take a rest, if you still smell it.
That sounds
We
like a
will
good
go by
idea to
that.
me. I mean, if I'm not moving, I'm only going to put my nose in the air going. Actually, I want to roll for him real
That
quick.
is fair.
Hey, how does the fine clothes on Spartacus look?
You bought him clothes?
He has fine clothes on
Yeah.
his character sheet.
They're
Yeah, it's not in
clothes-
his bag, not on
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, it's not for him, but
Pulling him out and looking him over, they're very decent. It's like a fancy cloak. It's got all this kind of like embellishments to it. It's very nice.
okay. Just curious.
Yep. It also has a feathered headdress.
Ah!
I forgot
I
about.
have some in my eye.
Mhm.
No.
That's mine.
Oh, that's yours? Yeah, I figured as much.
Oh, I thought you meant that what was in my eye was yours. I'm like, excuse me?
I want it. I call
Mine.
dibs.
What do you mean you call it dibs? Dibs on what?
I want
Your
that sleep.
eyeball.
No!
I want that sleep.
I think that's something we all
Alright.
desire.
I'll gauge if we have enough time to keep traveling before we should make camp.
All right.
I mean, we stay around burning undead. That might mess up his nose a little bit.
Yeah,
He'll get stuck
That's the
up in
thing.
there.
We should probably keep going, but I want to see how much farther we can travel.
Yep. You're able to get another couple miles.
Okay.
That sounds like a good idea.
By the way, if you're wondering why I put the boot in the tree, it's because, like, imagine you get back, you left your boot, like, in the dirt as
Oh
it
my
fell
goodness.
off, and you get back, you're like, how the fuck did it get in the tree?
Did I just kick it off and it just came all the way up there? Man,
Just find that so fucking dumb.
it's like when the shoes are hanging from the wire. You're just looking up like, I ain't getting that down.
That means that's a trap house, by the way.
I'm not going into
Yeah.
real life stuff.
I'm just saying that's what that means on the telephone wire. That's what it means most of the time.
Like I said,
Or
I
at
ain't about
least in
that life.
South Louisiana.
Moving on.
So, you guys are able to move a few miles further. As you get to a certain area, he actually asks you to stop a little bit early.
The guide?
Yes, Fiven does.
Okay.
Okay.
It helps you set up camp and such. It's on on the crest of a hill. You look out into the distance and you can see that there's a lot of almost vaguely bioluminescent trees. And it just kind of motions for you to all sit down and just continues to help get everything set up on their end, and eventually they actually as the fire and whatnot's getting set up, they actually ignore it as soon as it's up and go and just kind of sit where they can get a good look at the trees. You also notice that it's kind of in this weird area where as you're looking around it, there's this swirl of clouds in the sky that they're not super thick, but there are clouds in the sky that just seem to be swirling in a circle around this forest.
Don't look normal.
Have a seat then.
You'll sit beside him. What?
It's doesn't happen very often, but in some areas of the world, points towards the clouds, people don't know what else to call it, so they call it an air trap. Where clouds and wind have blown in clouds, and only little bits can slip out every now and then, but for the most part, condensation, all that stuff stays up there. And at night, depending on how things get, we might be able to see the light show. It's going to be a little bit loud. Do you guys care about noise?
Doesn't really bother me.
Not really.
You'll see, trust me.
It's not dangerous.
Are you planning on going into the forest at night?
No.
Then no.
Oh, well, that was said with a question. Like, bitch, you stupid?
What happens if you do?
You die, I would suspect.
No. it's just dangerous. You'll see as soon as things actually start. You'll see.
Clear is with us, right? Does she look like she's paying attention? Is she listening to this?
No, she was she was phased out.
There it is.
Yeah, Veer's gonna make sure he's gonna be like Clear.
Huh?
There's gonna be a light show. Don't go into the forest.
There's going to be a what?
Light show.
Pretty lights are going to flash around. Don't go into the forest, sweetie.
I know what a light show is.
You seem confused.
Why though?
Why don't go in?
Abnormality.
My mom will point to the cloud because she assumed that she meant why is there going to be like lights?
The clouds. Oh, does it look like it's going to be a lightning storm?
Yes.
Oh, you mean a storm? Okay. God, you made me think there's going to be some weird magic stuff happening.
I
You
think
could
there
have
might
just said there'd
be.
be lightning.
I think it is more than just that. But it's probably for the best that we don't go into the forest right now.
Just to be safe.
Beardrick made sure he was like wandering into the forest. Don't do it, Clear.
My baby!
Alright, so you guys settle down. And for a little bit, the air is rather still. It's quiet. And you can kind of hear a bit of a as you watch as some of the clouds begin to have electricity jump between them. And you'll see another little as you watch as a number of the clouds seem to have like this spark that they're just kind of passing back and forth. And
Potato.
kind of. And at a few points, you actually see where parts of the lightning actually jump down and make contact with various trees and just seem like zash, 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 zash. The thunder is not like thunderous and booming, but there is still the and Fiven just seems to be just kind of sitting back and just kind of watching the light show. Like it's just a common occurrence. But
Dom,
still
is this giving me any vibes?
Right, same.
what sort of vibes are you thinking?
Is this giving me like any Storm Ranger vibes?
I was just thinking familiar vibes, period.
The cat's
We live in the
hot.
mountains.
What
Like,
do you
out of all
think?
the... You said Thundercat's toe.
I mean, roll a religion check, Zadim.
Alright.
Does this give, like, just any familiar vibes in general, since out of all the places that would have storms, like fucking mountains, I would suspect would be one of the pure places?
That'd be a nature check. That's why I was trying to get clarification, because you're asking for a storm thing, he's asking for a storm ranger thing.
Click,
That's
you
funny.
bitch! Lag.
No, this is the first you've ever heard of an air trap, and it's very nice. It's beautiful. Like as the lightning continues to like arc between it, every now and then, like some of the colorations of the clouds that they're coming from will change with the electricity going through them, and then it'll jump to another one, and the color will just kind of linger there in the sky for a bit. Zadim, they're not called that specifically in the folklore that you're remembering, but there are areas where it mentions that the Storm Ranger would essentially follow, like basically the Storm Ranger saw people gathering together herds into pens on the world and thought, that is a novel idea. I wonder if that would work for clouds. And so there are areas where rather than letting all of the clouds wander free and gather together stuff, that some of them are just gathered together into these little flocks, this little pen, if you will. And it's said that the lightning that strikes from there gives a divine power to the forests below, allowing for the substance of the trees to be imbued with storm's energy. Stuff like that.
Why the fuck do I smell salami?
How far away is that?
It's about a mile away.
Is it in the direction we're going?
Yes.
Alright, cool.
And there seems to be like a path that kind of snakes through it, but it's not like a huge thing. It's maybe, granted, it's a couple miles across. It is big, but in terms of like a city, it's maybe the size of a town. So a pretty big forest, if you will, or not pretty big, a pretty small forest. But also, when the lightning is hitting the trees, you're watching as when they're hitting the trees, like the lightning will eventually leave off of it, but the leaves and the branches of it will begin to have a bioluminescent glow flare up that lingers for a good maybe 10 minutes.
I will make note of that area right there.
Alright. Anything you guys wanted to do before you guys head to sleep?
Nope.
Nah.
Actually, my bar will ask to pull aside your record just a moment.
Oh, okay.
Shall we go head to Betty, boys?
Sleep. Alright. So you grab Virdrick and get his attention.
She's gonna pull him out of, like, hearing range. And kind of keep Arcus on the lookout, just to make sure don't nobody follow.
Okay.
Okay, so please tell me that I'm being paranoid. Because he seemed very defensive of someone, or rather a group, that we know for a fact has been dabbling in accidentally creating undead.
He's crossing his arms like he's been thinking about it too.
Normally I would write it off, but he was defending that very vehemently, and that makes me very concerned.
He might just not see them as a threat.
If it were that case, it would feel more like he's just brushing it off, not that he would continuously go into the "you're wrong, that's not how they work" kind of route. Am I making sense?
I understand. We can't do much with just suspicions like that.
Just if I seem overly anxious, just know that I'm watching him. Because I don't trust him right now, and I'd rather not have a knife in my back.
He kind of looks at her, and he's like, "You think you're the only one that doesn't trust him?"
You don't trust anyone.
He nods.
That's why I'm still alive.
Good, you're loaded.
If there's anything you should learn, don't trust anyone, not even yourself.
Don't even trust what I just said.
Yeah, but what if? But does that mean I shouldn't trust you? Like, kind of does like a mini salute with two fingers.
It's like this. It's like the meme where it's like only Siths deal in absolutes. Isn't that within itself an absolute? Yes. Pulls out red lightsaber.
Anyway.
Oh goodness. I'm just. It's been a while since I've actually said this. I'm scared. I don't trust him, and it's worrying me, and I have not been scared of someone turning me in for at least a month or two. That paranoia is back. She's like pulling on her fingers.
Maybe not for the last month or two, but haven't you for the rest of your life?
Yeah, and it was nice not having to do it for once, so I settled in. I don't enjoy the feeling, you're sure.
I don't think any of us do.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever said, and I know that the general reaction is probably going to be to talk down to me, because that's just how you are. Just promise me you'll have my back should something horrible happen.
He is still looking at her and he's like, nothing's changed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, as in he's always had your back for a while now anyway. Not always, but for a while.
You're gonna hate me, but fuck it, I'll deal with it. She will pull him into a hug.
He sighs.
He said you'll hate me, but I need this.
Yeah, he sighs, but he lets you.
He's got your ass. That's how high he can reach. He can reach higher. No, I got your ass.
He's like just underneath her tits, because she's smaller, remember?
She's short.
Yeah, he's not gonna hug back anyway. It's okay. She's
It's
gonna
fine.
let her hug him.
She'll let go after a few seconds. She just needed the comfort.
I hope it helped.
He is grumpy grandpa. How many times do I have to say this?
He is.
Alright.
Thank you.
Anything else you guys do throughout the night? Or are you not done?
She just said thank you and left.
Cool.
Yeah.
I mean, Axelrod chills up for a bit until they retreat into their tent.
Gotcha.
What tent?
I bought a tent with my money before the campaign started.
Oh, there. Okay,
Yeah.
I fucking forgot that you go by they, their pronouns. My brain fried.
Is
Yeah.
it right?
Vivin is they, them as well, but I use
right.
he because they're like they, he pronouns.
Okay.
They have very
I remember you
effeminate
say for both.
features, but they, he.
Axelrod
Are we-
doesn't give a shit. He's whatever.
No, that's
Are we
fine with them.
Are we deciding watches?
Vivin will take the first watch.
Oh,
Unless you
I'll
guys don't
take
have dark
second.
vision, in which case he'll take second. But
I'll take
Arcus
second
is
watch
fine.
with Arcus.
I'll take third.
Sure, I'll take third.
Who's on third?
Who's
Oh,
taking
I'll take-
first?
I'll take
Vivin.
second then.
Vivin is taking first.
Vivin.
Yes, your guide.
Colette will go on first.
You've already had enough. You've already had more than enough body contact than you ever wanted for the day. Why are you?
So you two and the others go to sleep. Vivin and Kalir are awake for a bit. And after a little bit, Vivin kind of glances over to Kalir. Kalir, you're not the most perceptive. Eventually, you do kind of pick up that you're being kind of watched, vaguely.
It's not creepy, huh?
And not in a creepy way, just in like they're like observing you, trying to figure something out. Like that contemplative, I'm considering sort of expression.
Colette briefly glances over. And then she just goes looking backwards to what she was doing.
I don't know what the fuck you staring at me for, fam, but
Are you in the army?
I assume not. Sorry, I was putting cider in the bin.
You can presume that you're not in the army.
Oh wait, no. He's asking if I am in?
Yes. He's like, "Are you in the army?" He's asking
Okay.
this question.
I thought you were saying, were you in the army?
No, are you?
I mean, to be fair, Khalil would probably just go, well, I mean, I wasn't.
So you weren't, but are you in one now then? Or are you in Corvin's army, specifically?
No, I didn't know Corvin had an army.
It's more of a various bands of mercenaries who are paid to protect the land under
That
the
makes
different
sense.
lords. Yeah, but there's techniques that are used by different metal workers and such, and you eventually kind of get an eye for who does what and such. And your armor has, well, it's got bits of techniques that I've seen others wear before.
You're observant.
If I'm not observant, I'm getting robbed. So I've got to be.
Yeah, I mean, I've traveled around a bit. I've used, like, techniques and methods from a lot of different countries.
It's got to take a lot of skill to be able to mix those.
You'd be surprised. It's not as different as you think. There's differences and stuff,
Right.
but when you really, like, look at it and you learn it all, it's like it all comes together like a jigsaw. And it's all really nice. I did learn my technique from Corvin.
Yeah, I figured as much. He kind of points towards your armor. There's bits of your armor there that looks like it's meant to catch, well, lightning, for lack of better words. I've seen some of the people in the forest who've used something similar. It's not quite as yours is a bit more direct than theirs, but I've seen them use a different technique for the way they've done it, and they use it in conjunction with some of the sap that they get in the forest.
Catch lightning.
Or at least conduct it in some way.
Yeah, I suppose.
That's why I figured I'd ask, because we're near one of the areas, and one of the places you all wanted to stop off in was Delanash. I figured that you might have had an interest in seeing some of the metalworkings there, or even the metalworkings here.
I've learned all I want to from Delanash.
I see. Bad memories, or?
She stops talking.
Didn't mean to push. Figured I'd ask. And you'll go back to watch. The next two watches go, nothing seems to happen throughout the night. You guys eventually are awakened and able to go about your business and day. After you guys get camp all wrapped up and sorted out, Fiven will guide you all down to the forest, which has calmed down a lot more. But as you're actually getting in towards the forest, there's like the smell of pine, but also a strong smell of the ozone as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you start smelling it, that means it's just about to strike you.
I mean, these trees have been struck a lot, so
Okay.
like you were watching it throughout the night.
Actually, though, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't know what the fuck this thing is. It I don't know how common knowledge it would be, but I know that lightning generally doesn't strike twice,
You know that
and
lightning.
most certainly not like 1,000 fucking times.
You know that lightning doesn't tend to strike in a way that's consistent like that, even with your natural one. It's like this is a weird phenomenon, but your mind just can't pull up any way in nature that it could exist, but also no ways that it couldn't exist.
There a chance that I could roll Arcana, maybe?
I'm gonna say no because it's not technically an arcane event.
Okay.
That's why I said nature, not arcana, because this is technically natural.
I don't know. Sometimes we can roll the two things.
You're fine.
Did Spartacus tap the demon again?
Mm-hmm.
No, okay.
Oh, fuck.
Fun stuff. Can I just, like, examine the thing?
Trees.
Yeah. And around where the lightning struck.
The lightning struck the tops of the trees.
Right.
Just the top.
Yeah.
That sounds about right.
So it's not like you can find lightning strikes around the forest. It's just the tops of the trees.
Generally, it would still burn the entire fucking tree, though.
Generally, yeah.
Or at least split it in fucking half, so what the fuck?
As you're
Yeah, that's what I wanted to
approaching and looking, as you're approaching and looking, just like looking towards the tops of the trees, the trees' tops are different, where they look like they're like almost splitting off and reaching towards the sky, with tree like various branches and such coming off. But there's some parts of it that look a little bit blackened up there, just from what you can see as you're getting closer, but it doesn't look like it's caught fire.
These trees got juiced.
No, I was just looking at the game. What the fuck?
It seems as though they are fed off of the excess electrical energy.
Can I cast detect magic?
Mm-hmm.
The minute he said fed off of, I'm sorry, I wanted to.
Yeah.
Influence.
So you're guessing you're doing this as you're entering the trees.
Yeah.
Okay. You cast detect magic. The trees do not ping magical. You do get a ping of illusion magic, not too far away from the cart, just kind of moving around, as well as a second one on the other side of the cart. Not like moving around in a way that like is like jumping towards it, but like moving around, like walking on either side of it.
Okay, so when we cast detect magic, I would assume if it's illusion magic, it is cast on a person, it would give me an outline
If you
in terms of appearance. Yeah, can I look to see if I see an outline?
I mean, there's a blurry shape of form, if you will, that's just kind of walking on either side of the cart.
Guys. Something.
Relax. I just do this to make sure that people aren't smuggling things through.
Who?
You'll see him in a moment. You guys continue for another couple of minutes until you see, like, there's like a fork in the road, and seated like right at where the fork would split is almost like an outdoor, like just an outdoor table with a couple of chairs around it. As you watch as this remarkably fluffed up tabaxi is just sitting there, just hairs just on end, like basically a cat who got too close to static and it's just fluffed up. As you guys approach, you just see them like peek up. Hail, strangers! Passing through or looking to buy? Finn kind of glances at you all. You want to purchase anything on the way through, or you guys want to head immediately to Delanash?
Depends on what they have to offer.
What do you got?
We have various woods and crafts. If you're looking to buy sap, we have that as well. Very dangerous, but only if you're a fool.
How is sap dangerous? What kind of sap is it?
Do you have 50 gold?
Why would I buy the product if I don't know what it is?
You're paying for a demonstration.
Her eyebrow kind of arches a little bit.
A use of it is not something that can be used again.
You can just tell me. I'm very confused.
Roll a persuasion check.
27.
Contact from the sap to things of iron and steel makes them alive. Electricity from the sap wakes up and jumps around the steel until it fades.
I'm guessing you apply it on a weapon then?
Yes. And for a time, it is empowered until the time ends, and it is not.
I'm sorry, Mom opened the door halfway through, so basically it's an explosive.
No. But
It's
yes.
electricity.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I would be interested in some of these. How much do you have to offer?
We have a good amount that we have made into an applicable paper, if you will. You slide it across your weapon, and it will give it a charge. Some people slap it on their shields in order to try and bash them in the face with them, but not the most effective method.
By the way, as a team, I don't think you could put it on your sword technically.
Well, not my sword, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, not
your-
the Phantasm sword. No, that wouldn't work.
Technically, it would probably work on my arrowheads.
I think these can, from what's described, I think they would last for more than one hit. So it would kind of not be great putting them on arrows because arrows would just be a one and done. While putting it on a sword would be a
Consistent.
probably consistent. Probably last for like a minute if I had to guess.
Yes.
Probably, but it's still
Yeah.
good to have.
Do you have any of this sap? Just the sap, I should say.
We'd have to refine it to make it useful. It's a
I see.
arduous process.
I'm
Basically,
curious.
sap. You can bring sap to us and we'll refine it, but you have to actually be willing to spend the time to attempt to tap the trees and hope that you're going to get enough sap that it's worth your time. We live here, so we have the time. What is your curiosity, young one?
50 gold for just one use?
50 gold for
Oh.
a demonstration. The actual product is 100 gold apiece.
How long does it last?
If you're getting standard issues, most of it is going to last up to around 10 minutes. If you apply it to something smaller, it will keep the charge for longer. Shorter. But if you apply it to something that's too large, it also can be shorter. So a dagger or a greatsword, perhaps, would be more of a minute. Too much charge on itself, shorting itself out, or too much energy trying to be spread out too far. A short
Sounds
sword
like-
or a long sword, 10 minutes.
What about a warhammer?
Same thing. It does not discriminate for a deep chunk of steel like that, as long as it can keep the charge from being spread too thin.
She looks at Beardrick. certainly be useful.
He is going to look at Clear and be like, is that something you're interested in?
Falcon punch things with electricity.
Oh, is this the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this has
Oh,
been the next
this
day.
is like during the shift. Okay.
No, this is the next day.
Yeah, should be like. Lightning sap seems interesting. Probably decay too much, but could be good.
No. Paris.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
He said 100 gold for one.
Use.
Standard use.
Which
Yeah,
is the 10 minutes. 1 minute
I
if
mean-
it's for a big or small item, like a dagger or a greatsword.
We could just. Where'd you get it?
We
You
have
get it
kept
from the
these
forest.
trees. Yes.
Oh.
The trees adapted to the storms. Now they collect the electricity within themselves in their sap without overheating themselves and blowing themselves to bits.
Huh. I mean, wouldn't that just make them like. That would just make you. Like. Insulated, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be like, oh, apply lightning to my sword. It'd be like, apply lightning to my armor, and then suddenly, all your lightning just goes all the way down to the ground.
I love the fact that she does sound effects. This is so nice.
For armor, you
So-
would need a bit more separation between things to ensure that it doesn't just go straight into the ground. But with a gauntlet, you could move some of the pieces so that it stays just on the gauntlet.
No, I mean, like, if it goes into the ground, then that's a good thing, because it means you're not taking it.
Exactly.
You're saying that it's a bad thing?
No, I'm saying that it would, if you tried to do it for the entirety of the armor, it would be much like the greatsword in that it would only last for a lesser amount of time.
Hmm. So, Guru,
Mhm.
do I know anything about these trees?
Roll a nature check at advantage.
Okay. Because at least by my knowledge in physics, just like kind of intuition, it sounds like these trees don't contain the lightning, but just are able to just make it not hurt it. So it just passes through them.
Essentially, it makes it so that it jumps essentially down into the roots, but by refining it, as he said, there are ways, partly magical, that allow them to draw the lightning back into the sap and then make it applicable to the weapon. Which you've heard about from your time growing up, moving around and such, that you've heard about trees in these sort of areas that are very valuable because the sap in its raw form is one of the necessary ingredients for things like potions of resistances or even rings of resistance.
Oh, the sap's good for
Resistance to lightning damage.
Khalil point that out. Should be like, if you want rings or potions of lightning resistance, the sap is very nice.
You see the Tabaxi's ears just kind of go up slightly. Like his face doesn't move, but his ears just kind of perk up like, I hear this. You are aware of the trees, then. Are you wishing to buy potions? We have potions. They give you resistance to the storms.
It's up to you guys, I guess. She's nodding to the rest of the party.
I will take 3 applications of this sap. And you said something about potions, but not rings.
Yes, not rings. We are waiting on miners, people in the mountains, to the northeast. Big desert that has the necessary gems to contain once we have put the sap beneath it. Last of our stock wore out maybe a month, 2 months ago.
I see.
So we
Well,
have
that is fine.
so we have no more rings because we are waiting on gems.
I will
Gems in the
take
mountains.
one potion of it.
A potion is 500 gold.
That is fine.
So 800 gold for the 3 applications and the potion.
Yes.
So mark that down.
Do you sell anything else?
Do you like to have your hair stand on end?
This
No.
man is about to come out with the hair gel.
Anyone else? Kind of like looks through the party slowly. And Fiven just like,
I kinda-
are you going to tell them about the fruit then or not? And he's like, that is what will make your hair stand on end. It's not a big stand quite like me, but the fruit of the trees can be very shocking.
Beardrick kind of like nods at him and is like, is that what happened to you?
I eat it all the time. I enjoy it. It is good taste. It does no harm to a person. It just gives it a little tingling. Yes. You can call it Zap Zap if you want.
It doesn't do anything else.
For the food? No. We do not charge extra for this except that it is only grown here. If you were to buy it elsewhere, you might have to pay a much higher amount.
Beardrick's not. Well, he's a little curious, but I forget. He's kind of a foodie. He's kind of curious.
I will give you 10 pieces of fruit for 10 gold pieces.
Okay. He'll do it.
He will get
At
you
least bring
10
it back for Am.
for 10.
10 for 10.
I will take 2 pieces of fruit.
2 gold.
10 pieces of, I don't know. What, zap fruit?
Zap Zap fruit. Zap fruit.
Khalil's gonna pop.
Anyone else?
No, we call it juice fruit.
Paris, Axel.
Beardrick also buy, like, I guess 3 applications of the sap stuff.
300 gold.
Cool. We got money to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Khalil is gonna pass. She'd rather have something a bit more permanent. She'll take 1 application actually. Just for testing or whatever.
Okay.
Two applications.
Okay. And Axel? You were saying something?
Axel has been basically not even acknowledging these people since they've been here, really.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
these people are weird.
Doing his own thing.
Too lowbrow for him.
Sure. Yeah, and you people wouldn't be.
And is Paris back yet, or?
Nope, she BRB'd, but she has not yet said back.
But yeah, Axel doesn't want any of it. Take your Girl Scout cookies and go somewhere else with it.
Girl Scout cookies selling a sap that electrifies your iron.
I don't wear iron or use iron.
iron, steel, gold.
And then he barely he has a dagger, but he's not going to use it. But yeah.
No, I'm aware.
Okay.
Just laughing.
And then if he gets the fucking fruit, then he's just gonna look like the worst anime character. So
it doesn't make your hair stand up like completely
well, his
on
hair
head.
already goes up a bit and to the left a little.
Oh.
Because it's like it's not overly long, and he has a side shaved off of it mostly, so it's just up and to the left a little bit because it's not long enough to start going down yet. So if it got shocked, it would just go straight
Goku.
up. Yeah, he'd look like he'd effectively be Goku.
He's side-leaning Goku.
How long?
No, I'm talking about the fruit. I'd basically do.
No, I know it.
How long will the fruit be good for?
Fruits, if you're trying to take it elsewhere, is good for a month.
Okay. Let me write that in my notes so I don't forget.
We have had many druids here who help ensure that things are good and that they will keep well.
Cool. I don't know if we'll be back home in a month, but I'm gonna remember. Don't think there's anything else I'd want to do.
Excuse me. Okay. As you guys are purchasing things, there's a moment where, like, if you're taking your apples, or not your apples, your zap fruit. In my head, I was thinking about the completely black, super sweet apples, and I'm like, oh man, those sound really good right now.
Zapples.
The zapples. As you turn around and take it back to the cart, you see that there's leaning on trees on. Oh, well, hi, Paris. You just got back in time to find out that the two shady figures that were behind you are leaning against the tree, and you see that they are uninvisible tabaxi, who are just kind of watching you, giving you little waves of just, hey, nice to see you, nice to meet you.
Why are they on the cart?
They're not on the cart. They're on either side of the cart, like trees. Like they're giving it space. They're letting you do your thing, but they were just kind of like uninvisible now. And they're just waving you like, "Hi, we just came out of the forest. We were here the whole."
So there's 4 of them now.
No, there's 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
There's the 2 that you saw that were invisible that are no longer invisible, and the one who's been selling you this stuff.
Okay, I couldn't fucking remember if there were 2 people talking to us at the same time.
1 person.
Okay. So she relaxes visibly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was you 2 that I saw.
They kind of look at each other. Magic person. You fascinate. Not druid though. No, not enough squirrels in her hair. No. Maybe bird's nest. No. Her hair's too soft. She conditions. Ah, yes.
She's slowly reaching for her scythe.
Are we wrong?
If you want to ask what's up with my hair, you can just ask.
No. We are considering if you are a druid or not. No, definitely not. Wizard, maybe. Ink on her hands? Maybe. I can't see her hands. Maybe she washes her hands. That is very smart. Yeah, no. Wizards don't think to do that. Wash your hands. You get ink stains on them. Wash it.
So.
She's watching this to her.
Vera's gonna look at Navarra and be like, "Did you want to buy anything?"
Other than the zap, what do they have? No, I left before then.
The zap is also useful in making potions of resistance of lightning damage.
Something tells me that I'm gonna want that potion, so how much?
500 gold.
Yellow. Yeah, I'll buy it.
No one's even trying to haggle.
Ah!
Cindy doesn't care about haggling.
You said, "Hey, I'll buy it."
Vera's not the type either, but.
If she sees the thing that the other 2 tabaxi will try and incite them.
Yep, go ahead.
I was trying. Can I try and haggle for 450?
Roll a persuasion check at disadvantage. Because other people
Yes,
might bought it for
it is.
500.
Ah,
Sorry.
still 17, so.
It takes much work to get it to be as strong as it is. It's best to pay the 500. We do not want to give you cheap knockoff.
Oh, okay.
And he's smiling the whole time. He's like a good-natured. The insight, the two of them just seem to be having a good-natured jesting, as far as you can tell.
I have no idea what tabaxi are, I'm assuming. Other than name.
Other than name, yeah, they're cat people, as far as you can see now. And they live up to their name because they look like big-ass fluffy cats.
Which one looks the fluffiest?
The guy you've been speaking to.
So forgive me for staring, she's been looking at his ears.
Mhm.
If I pay you 30 gold, can I touch your ear?
Oh my god.
He's good business. He will. He will accept
Ivara.
payment for goods and services.
Have you ever seen the Will Smith Karate Kid, where it's like all the little Asian kids walk up to Jaden Smith's mom in the movie and goes, "Can I touch your hair?" Same thing. Same thing.
Brothers, I'm black! I know this fucking shit!
Same thing.
I'll pay him 30 gold and I'll rub his ears.
Virgit groans.
I'm going to massage his ears.
Yep,
That's
he
very
accepts
true.
it. The other two laugh under their breath, but they're like, they're
This is
foreigners,
strange.
clearly.
It's the strangest prostitution I've ever seen.
Don't you judge him for his kinks?
It's a female. It wouldn't be your kinks if you're the one getting paid. You're just a prostitute.
24, I had to see if he's getting off today!
No, he's just like, you're petting my ears.
Okay. You said kinks, I'm like, what?
While they're doing that, Deirdre's gonna go check the card over to make sure nothing got stolen or messed with.
Everything's in place,
Cool.
as you remember it.
Just checking.
Of course.
You never know.
She's never seen a tabaxi, she wanted to see if they were real.
Oh yeah, the ears are real. Here's $20. Let me rub your berry.
I just gave him the equivalent of 300.
You don't know that.
I mean, honestly, if someone walked up to me and said, "Hey, can I pay you to cut your hair?" I would take that money. I'm not gonna lie.
I would not.
Times is hard, man. $300 for someone to like touch my hair for a minute. Fine.
I don't know. That's too fishy.
Okay, see, here's the thing. I have legitimately the excuse of I have black person hair, so like every fucker wants to touch it, like every other fucking bastard.
So rude.
Be
It's
that way.
because it's fluffy. That's literally the thing. That's literally the whole thing.
Yeah, just.
That does remind me of secondary school. There are a few people who had the really fluffy hair, just like bouncy.
So anything else you guys want to do in the forest?
Not really.
Nope.
Just because I've learned my lesson for other campaigns, I will try and wrap this potion up so that it's much harder to shatter.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'll do the same.
Put a little bag around it.
A bag or like, oh, actually I have fabric, so I can legitimately just wrap this thing.
You essentially give it a little safety blanket.
It's like putting newspaper around antiques.
Just something to pad it. Make sure you don't fall on it and have it hear a little crack and be like, oh no, the wasps. Yeah, potion of summon beasts. You throw it and it summons beasts. The beast that it specifically summons is always wasps.
Are you serious?
It's out there in the world.
Oh
It
no!
conjures beasts, but it only summons swarms of wasps.
That's literally a Dragon Age potion that you're describing, like, legitimately.
It's also a freaking Animal Crossing. You shake a tree and it just comes out. It's like, oh hey, that's a potion of summon beasts, specifically
Beware
wasps.
the trees.
But let us
But yes, letting us move on. You guys continue out, and it's another few days, but you eventually arrive in Delanash.
Can I say every morning Beardrick holds like a little powwow meeting?
You can.
Power.
Wow,
Yeah.
Alright,
God,
guys.
you would call it that too.
Huddle.
Just makes me think of like a Shiba Inu. It's just like bow wow.
I imagine it's gonna be just touching base kind of stuff, like if anyone's
Strategy.
noticed anything, or you know, maybe we should be more like this, or he'll even compliment here and there someone did something nice.
Group status report. Status report and morale.
Yeah, basically, maybe talk strategy. Who knows? But can I count this as
Yes.
inspiring leader each morning?
Uh-huh. That's all
There
they're
we
coming.
go.
So
Yeah.
everyone
So-
starts with
10.
10 temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
Why the
bad
fuck does
for
Beardrick
every
have
day.
inspiring leader? It's so against his personality.
You say that, but
Not now.
It's how he's doing things. He may
It's
not
a
like
basic
talking to
development.
people, but
He has
can
to
be
change with the
inspiring.
times.
Well, to be fair, like lately, the past couple of levels, Beardrick actually has been trying to be more inspiring and kind.
And leader.
So it does kind of fit as his development.
Yeah, this is what this whole development this last month or so has been about for him. So
Yeah.
When we get near Telemash, when we get near like, I assume eventually I'm gonna recognize the area
The layout of
as
the area.
we get
Yeah.
close. She's gonna kind of freeze.
Do you want to go around the town?
She nods.
Let's go around the town then.
She's like, you haven't quite seen this before, but she is shaking.
Varro very gently take her hand if she lets her.
She'll like initially like draw her hand back, but then she'll relax it and let you take it.
She kind of just rubs the top of her hand with her thumb. It's okay.
It's mostly, it's like also her leg as well, like her left leg is like the one that's shaking the most.
I hear a little rattling from her leg.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah, a little bit of rattling, yeah, from her arm.
I'll kind of ask Beardrick, because I'm assuming he's the one who's driving at this point, to go around the town.
Ugh, we still need to stop in it.
She looks at Kalir. Why do we need to stop in it?
The whole point of us wanting to go to Delanash to begin with was to see her mom and ask her questions.
She said she didn't want to go to Delanash. She said if she wanted to side of Delanash.
She herself doesn't have to go in, but we need to ask her questions.
But we won't know what her mom looks
No, but did I get a name?
That was kind of like half the fucking reason we came here, right?
Yeah. To go talk to her mom, so.
Like, we didn't really give a shit about the thing happening in north of Corvain until he brought it up, and we're like, well, we kind of want to go there already. So it's kind of like a,
She also desperately said she didn't want to go there. That's just it. We were trying to figure out an excuse for that problem.
Well, yeah, then she can just stay out of the town and we'll go in town. We'll figure it out.
You really want to leave? So one of us is gonna have to stay with her.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
I will stay with her.
Virdrick will look at Kalir to see how she feels about that.
She's still kind of shaking. She's mostly silent.
Hmm.
You guys go on ahead, and I can stay back with her. You're a little bit more useful than I am to deem should something go wrong.
Alright.
I know Virdrick knows about her, injury and everything, but I don't think Naivara ever knew, right?
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
All she
Yeah,
knows
so-
is that her friend is scared.
Yeah, Vidric, I know the leg that's shaking is the one that has the scar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he definitely notices that. Trying to wonder. No, would he? Huh. No. No, maybe it's best not to then. Okay. Yeah, he was debating if it would be better if more or less she faced her fears, faced her trauma, and got over it.
It ain't always that simple.
It not. And I think in the end he's gonna decide not to go that route.
I mean, I'll at least throw it out there that if you people want me to stay behind so that the main group still into the town as a unit, I can do that. But if you'd rather me go with them, that's also fine.
You go on ahead. You seem like you're better at talking than she kind of looks at Beatrix.
You seem like you're better than me, but alright.
She kind of shrugs.
Let's see. Yeah, the rest of us will go into town.
Okay.
So that includes the guide.
You're taking the guide with you?
Yes.
Okay. So Fiven will go with you guys.
Before we go,
Mm-hmm.
we should probably try to figure out at least either Kalir's mom's name, or what she looks like, or where she used to work, anything like that. Because if we don't have a chance in fucking hell.
Yeah, I'm actually trying to find it in my notes what she told Beardrick anyway about her, but
Out of character, I can't exactly what her name is.
God, I know I have it in my notes. Where is it? There it is. Her name was Bashuk Rankul. She was an orc. Like talking to nature, so she might be a druid.
Oh, right, wait. Yes. The surname is Renkle. Her surname is Renkle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so Kalir took her mama's name. That's cute.
Mm-hmm.
You sure you can take Dad's name?
I don't think
I didn't. I didn't put her mom's name down.
It's Bashuk. Let me write it out. But
Bashuk is shook.
I don't think Clear remembered what her job was or anything because Beardrick didn't ask that.
Her mom's job. Kalir wasn't actually sure herself. I believe she was. What she would know is that she worked normally in, like, the woods around the city, the city. Yeah.
Oh.
Potentially logger.
Yeah, she. Potentially, she was. Our character well connected with druids.
I was gonna say, in my notes, Claire said she liked talking to nature, so she might be a druid.
You.
So, who knows? We could ask around in town, but she might be around the town, to be honest.
Alright, let's get looking.
Yeah? I don't even know where we could ask around in town. Where's a good place to, when you start asking around for a person?
You go to places
The
that they might
taverns.
frequent.
Taverns, maybe?
You go to taverns or inns. Those are generally like, at least someone generally will have known or seen that person.
True.
Because that's got the most traffic.
Also, our character, Khalid did mention that Delanash is a place that doesn't quite like warlocks. And Corvin in general, I guess.
Yeah.
Corvin is not on the same wavelength as Tamdov is.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I think beforehand, maybe the night before or something, Beardrick would have privately told Nivara that Kalir got ran out of town because she was a warlock, basically. Or at least I think that's what he thinks happened. Just letting Nivara know specifically, because if she's gonna be there with Clear during this, then as a warlock, maybe she'll know how to comfort her or something.
I'm
That's
sorry. I'm sorry. That's the equivalent. That's the equivalent of good. I'm just someone who's. This is the equivalent of going up to a black person going, "You know what this other black person needs to do to cheer up." Fucking hell. Beardrick, it doesn't work that way.
Well, you understand what it's like being a warlock. You understand what it's like being ran out of town as a warlock, so that's why he told you the night before about this. That's all he said. He didn't explain further, but...
Don't worry, Nivara doesn't have the same reaction. I'm just cackling because...
Yeah. So, anyway, continuing on. Yeah, is there anything we should roll or anything as we ask around for her mom?
So you entering just the first tavern you see, or?
I mean, the first decent looking tavern, I guess, or busy one. I'll be a little more hesitant to go into a shady looking one.
Also, Mr. Beardrick, do you wish for me to do the talking here, or do you want to? I'm fine with either.
He kind of nods. You should do it.
Alright, I'll give it a shot. Alright.
Alright. Roll an insight check.
Moi? Or Beardrick?
Beardrick, since he's looking for a reputable inn.
Perception, you said?
Insight.
Insight. Oh, okay. That's at normal. Good.
You see the first one you come across. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it's just maybe a little. It needs a little elbow grease here and there. It's still got a
ask
groove.
the guide? Does the guide know this town?
You're gonna ask the guide?
Yeah, I'm sure they'll know more than we do.
You hope.
Don't go in there. That's a brothel.
Where should we go then?
If you're
You
looking
should have
for
just let him go in there!
if you're looking for a place that's of good repute, come here. I'll take you to. It's a nice little inn. It's got a couple of orcs kind of running around the place. It's a very busy place. It's rubbing elbows with everyone, from what you can tell. More like a more middle class, a higher middle class sort of area. I didn't say which gender it was, Paris. I said it was mixed. I just said it was a brothel. Oh yeah, no, that would have been funny.
Right!
Oh, see, you're just like, I want to see it. You're also lucky that Fiven rolled a damn 19 on the die.
That's what I said, you should have just let him. Just be mischievous.
Fiven's been
can't.
being paid to be forthright and straightforward.
Yep.
So, Vidge, you're just gonna tell me, like, upstanding bodyguard then?
Tell him what?
Are you, Mr. Vidge, are you going to just tail me, like an upstanding bodyguard then?
Basically,
Yes.
do you want him to be the face?
Kind of pushes glasses up a bit. Let's go then.
He doesn't mind that being the story. This will be fun.
I mean, like.
Yeah, it works.
Yes, but you're not the one who was paying in Paris.
Oh no!
So, yeah. I'll walk in then.
You walk in. Again, the place is very bustling, very noisy. There's a bard playing over in one of the corners, just a nice song about various things that they've heard about and such. Things ranging from the foolishness of kings to the might of dragons. Just, stuff you might imagine a bard to be singing about.
As we're walking, I'll cast guidance on myself, just preemptively.
Preemptively, of course.
Yeah.
Are you looking to speak with just one of the patrons, or are you looking to speak with the
Barkeep.
establishment barkeep?
Yeah, yeah.
They'll be making sure that their stuff's clean. They kind of look around. There's a bit of people just doing their own things here and there, but as you're watching, you see them seem to kind of just slow down as they're finishing putting a mug off to the side, and they see you walk up. What'll it be, darling? You looking for anything in particular, or something to wet your whistle with?
Give me something light, a light ale.
Light ale.
Just cool, something quick.
Don't worry. If anyone gives you any trouble, let them know that I can throw them ass over tea kettle faster than they can breathe.
Fair enough.
They'll get you out a light ale, sit in front of you. It'll be 2 copper.
Yeah, no, 2 copper. How much? That's fucking. I have 8 that, and then 9 of that. Okay. Okay. I'm here on a job actually, but I felt like it would be impolite to you come in here, ask questions, and not buy myself a drink. So.
Why see ya?
I'm looking for an orcish woman by the name of Bashuk. She's not in any trouble, don't worry. We're here with just some questions. Nothing, we're no feds, even though that one may look like it. But I assure you, we're just here to ask a couple questions to make sure of things.
Now, what sort of things would you be asking an upstanding lady like that?
Oh, her daughter, Clear. A few questions about her. She's not in trouble either, don't worry. We're acquaintances of sorts, but she is busy at the current moment in time with something else, and we needed to come figure out some information about her past for her.
She's alive?
Yes. I did not know that was not supposed to be the normal.
I mean, if you didn't know that she was supposed to be dead, how would you know that her being alive would be... Huh.
Because you just said it. You just must have a little You just said you thought she was dead apparently, but yes, she is alive, and we're here to talk. And it's kind of important information that we need to figure out about. If you want to run it by her first, by all means. We are just here with questions, if
Roll a
possible.
persuasion check.
Okay. Don't be a dick. Okay, give me a second. 19. Is this ability checks too, or just a
Guidance is to ability checks.
No, not that.
Oh, right. I know.
I have a different thing. Nope, only to attack rolls or saving throws. Okay, go on.
Alright. You're wanting to ask questions to her.
Yes, Miss Bashuk.
Miss Bashuk. What questions are you wanting to ask? Just so I can make sure that if there's anything that might upset her, that it doesn't go through to her.
That's fourth. Okay, forthright. Questions about, and I will say his name. I don't remember his name, but from what I remember, I know his name because you said Axelrod's heard of him. Yeah, I will say his actual name because you said Axelrod's heard of the fucking guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hezro. Nope, that's not it. That
What
is Godfrey.
That's a
Godfrey.
type.
Yeah.
Demon?
Godfrey.
Godfrey. Yeah. I was looking at Demon.
Don't know why
Well
you're looking
then.
at demons there for a second.
It's demons, Jim.
Demons!
It's like the little
My
like
notes are
twinkle
messed.
to the fingers too, like the demons. Oh,
Godfried. You going to tell me he's alive too?
Smile.
That's not a yes or no. Not sure if I trust it, but
Well, it's more information. I feel like for her, you know, so I don't want to go about just saying it.
that's why I'm not yet kicking you over to a table.
I'm trying to be respectful with all the
You
information
are being
I do
very
know.
respectful, and you're
Thank
being
you.
very polite about taking your time. I'm trying not to push too much, but I understand that they are good people.
Yes, I know. I'm positive that there's much to this situation I have no knowledge of that makes what I'm asking for a more touchy subject than I think it is. So that's
You're not
why I'm
wrong.
very willing. Yes, that's why I'm very fine with just whatever you can offer to let, even if speaking to her for only 5 minutes.
I cannot limit your speaking time to her. That is her choice.
Yeah.
Abel leans over and starts speaking in Orcish to
What do they
she just-
say?
You speak Orcish?
Yes, I do.
Oh my god.
She's saying
I took the
Yes.
monstrous races languages.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yes. She says there is a person looking for a friend of mine, Mother of Kalir. You've heard me speak of them before. Yes, that one. Don't give me that look. You'll go bring her here now. Now? You tell her it has something to do with her estranged husband as well. You see the person kind of look up like, really? You go now. They kind of like, alright. They step out.
I was just losing patience, like, no.
While we're waiting, I might as well say, what foods do you sell? Do you sell, cow of some kind? Beef?
Yes, we do have beef. Certain clerics try and tell us that it is bad of us to eat of the cow, but
Food is food.
food is food.
I'd like to get each of these men, and I'll point to Zeman, Beardrick, and myself, just some steak of some kind if you have it.
Vivian as well.
Might as well eat, and I'll pay for it all.
Of course, of course. If you're looking for something particularly good, we have a spread of it for 2 gold.
Sure. That spread will, what does Miss Bashuk like, may I ask?
I can
Might
get
as
you what
well,
she
if I'm
likes.
making her, if I'm making her come all out this way, I might as well get her some food.
The part of the spread will be fine for her. I'll make sure to keep
Okay.
it warm.
Very nice. That will be good then.
Okay.
And I'll look to the other two. I mean, we've come all the way in here. Might as well get some good food while we're here, right?
Beardrick will kind of nod. It seems like not a bad idea.
We'll take some. Let's not eat it all, or try to. We can bring some back for the other. It's a spread. That's a lot of steak. We should be good.
Yeah.
I just imagine like part of the beef, like you know how you cut a beef into strips? It's like cutting like a whole part of a cow into strips of steak.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
which are themselves cut into slices.
Beardrick's not gonna actually eat until she gets here, so.
Well, it
I'll
takes
hold
time for
off
them
here.
to cook the platter. So when they arrive, it's brought out, and there's an orcish woman who approaches you, looks you all over.
Powerful woman.
Very powerful looking woman. She's got a bit of like a half crown of roses, which she seems to have woven into her hair. And she just kind of like sits down, slowly leans against the table as you guys have the meat put in front of you. She doesn't touch it just yet. She just kind of watches you all for a moment. Looks at you all.
I will stand up politely as she's getting towards the table and pull out a chair, like preemptively.
She will take it.
And I'll push it in a little bit. Hello there, I am Axelrod Maximilian Zaramir, and I am an acquaintance of your daughter.
An acquaintance of my daughter.
Yeah, yes. And I'll go around where I'm sitting and sit down. By the way, please, I've made sure to get some food for the entire table.
I
So
can wait on
feel
you
free.
for a moment.
Yes, okay.
I will eat when it is time for me to eat.
Fair enough.
That being said, you are friends with her.
I am more of an acquaintance. We've met more recently, but from what I understand, these two have known her a good bit longer.
Beardrick will stand up and reach over to shake her hand and introduce himself. Beardrick Ironwatch.
She'll
He's standing on the chair.
and shake your hand, and it's reasonably strong. She's not like the super built muscle builder sort of woman, but she's respectable in her strength.
Okay. Beardrick is, you know how it's a nice solid handshake, but not rude.
No one fish around here.
And Zadine gonna introduce himself?
I wanted to wait until you were done. I will put out my hand. Zadim Isadul. Pleased to meet you, miss.
Isadul and Viedrick. Leans forward. Like, she seems like very solemn, very serious for a little bit, and then she like leans forward. Is she well?
She is, yes.
She's been eating. She has not been forgetting about where she is supposed to be.
Yes, and not too much.
Where she is supposed to be?
Yes, she will make plans, and then she, like, you see her like slowly kind of melting
okay.
kind of out of this. I'm being very tight, and she's like she has always been very good about making plans, but then she's very bad about remembering where she has to go to get the plans done.
Yes, I know what you mean.
She she has always been such a clever girl, but cleverness is good, very good, great even, but one can only be great for so long before you lose out on things if you're not paying attention to where you're supposed to be going.
I
She's
understand.
done. She was always so good with her hands. I'm sure she would have something in mind, but she hasn't caused you any trouble now, has she? I highly doubt it. She's always been so good about that, but she has not caused you any trouble, right?
No.
I'd say she's gotten this group out of more trouble than she's caused, from what I understand.
You see, she seems like visibly relaxed, reach over and pick up like the biggest piece of steak she can find, and just kind of put it in her mouth. Like,
So, but yes, we were here to just say that we're about to. The questions are mainly going to be less about Kalir and more about your ex-husband, I presume.
No, he's still my husband.
You still your husband?
Well, if he's
Oh,
not
fair
dead,
enough.
if he's dead, then he's dead, and I can't exactly stop.
He's not. That's the good/bad news, depending on how you look at it. But he is not on this plane of existence.
I don't understand. That what?
So, do you know what the planes of existences are?
I know the ground on which I walk.
Okay. So how it all works is different planes of existences are like different worlds within themselves. For instance, you've heard of hell. Have you heard of the statement, like the term the hells before?
I've heard of the pits and the hills, yes.
That the hells are a plane, or many planes, depending on the layer. This is one plane. That is a plane of existence. There's a plane of existence similar to your own, similar to our own, I should say. And it's just some things are different. Some little things are different. It's very not as great as this one. And it's known as, what the fuck is it actually called? Necroxma? What is it? It's NYX, but I don't remember anything after that. Necronics. It's called Necronics, but it's more commonly known as the inverse plane. And that is currently where your husband presides.
You see her kind of eyes kind of slide over to the others, just like, you following this?
From what I understand, your daughter has made her father gives her power from this plane, and we are just looking to know more about him, if possible, about what he's doing, anything you really know. I'm correct. That's what we want, correct? And he's just looking at the other, like.
Yes, but if you don't know anything more than we do, because judging by her not even knowing it live means she definitely don't know anything about him right now.
Let's just start with this. What was your husband studying before he left?
He was studying a number of things, most of which he would. You do remind me of him in some ways, in the way that you remind me of my daughter. You're using many words, and I understand only the most common of words that you're using, and the way that you're putting them together makes no sense to me. But they're clearly very informed words. I just don't understand.
Would you rather me speaking this tongue when I say it in Orcish?
It just like flows right into Orcish. Even in this tongue, this the way the concepts you are speaking of.
Yes. I know what you mean. It's just this way your brain won't have to, translate the words to a different language.
Yes, but even so, that the concepts don't make sense to me, if that makes sense.
I understand. So, how did your husband? I'll just say it in comments. So, how did your husband leave exactly?
He was being sent to an area where he was supposed to be helping with the the armies. They were looking for a way to speak between different parts of Gorvin. Speed things up, if you will.
So he was picked up by the Corrigan government.
He's been working for them for years and years on years. At least before he disappeared.
Fair enough.
And they were paying him well, I suppose. I mean, I never really cared much for the gold and the necessities of gold, except in using it to build up little gardens here and there. And he...
Did you? Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, you had a question. Go ahead.
Did he possibly leave behind any belongings?
A number of them. I've only ever gone into those places after Kalir left to clean them up because I mean, his estates are still technically his, and well, they're mine as well. Yeah, the servants tell me. They keep it clean. I go in to check in on things when I'm not out doing my own thing, but
Did he leave behind any research, possibly?
possibly. Nothing I understand. The servants have been in there a few times, as well as some of the people in the who have worked for Corvin, but every time they go in, they cannot remove anything, and so they leave empty-handed. He was a very clever man, and I was a very clever woman in how we made sure to avoid having people take his research.
Is there any way we could get his research to Kalia? I mean,
if she wishes for his research, I would be happy to give it to him. However, I would want to give it to her more in person. If that makes sense.
I understand, but that's in lies the difficulty. She seemed to... Well, she's been busy, and...
Yes.
She seemed to worry about something in town bothering her, so she did not come.
This is her home.
Unfortunately.
If she needs time to come home to get the research, she can spend the time she needs, and then when she comes home, she can get it.
And you yourself can't take it out of the house for her?
No. That was the secret little trick that we had. You cannot remove his research.
Bishop would know that, Kalir was chased down, by the way.
Yeah.
She helped her get out.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Okay.
Is there any chance we could take a look at it then? Just to get some... I can try to comprehend some of it, maybe, to get the information back to Kalir?
I would prefer to have Kalir here as well with that. There's been... Believe me when I say I know her reasoning for not being here. But I also know that many things have changed. Well, a number of things at least. And I want her to see that I'm still here for her.
And would it be safe? Would it be safe for her to come into town then?
If people wish to make it unsafe, I will remind them why I am one of the people that they have turned to for all of their needs in things of nature.
So you're saying it possibly won't be safe?
Possibly. But those who will most likely want to voice their concerns can voice them to me. And it will be up to me to decide whether or not it is worth listening to.
Well, I can't promise anything on that. I'm not clear. I can't say whether or not she'll be willing to come back even knowing that.
Where is your home?
It's in one of the center circles of the city. Can you reach her to speak to her in regards to this? Or she sent you ahead?
We'll go talk with her.
Continue eating your food, by the way. It's delicious stuff.
Beardick totally forgot about eating.
No, she's been eating the whole time.
The whole kind of eat.
It seems like a very complicated situation. So
More so than I can say, but
I am not like her, so I can't fully relate to the feeling she must be having. So yeah, I am just going to say, I think we're going to bring it. From what I can tell, we're going to bring up the idea to her. If she shuts it down, we will let her shut it down. I don't think we should argue with her on this at all. If you ever wish to know, he looks at him, thinks he's thinking to himself. If you ever wish to try and find him, I could help you with that. But something tells me he's trying to do something currently in that other plane.
again, these words, they will make more sense to Kalir than to myself.
Yeah. In this other place he is in, the only way to get there is through a portal. A gateway of sorts.
Okay, I can envision that.
And the only way to get out is through those gateways. They are very hard to find, but they are out there. And we are unsure whether your husband is willingly in there or stuck in there.
I should hope that he is stuck, otherwise he's been able to come back here and I will have to speak with him politely.
Well, sometimes,
Sometimes you get stuck. Sometimes you have reasons.
Yes,
but I do not know them. The man who I married was valiant, good-natured. When he found out Kalir was going to be born, he did the only thing he could. Passed out and fell down the stairs. I shouldn't have told him down the stairs.
Yes.
But he created a crib that would be able to be rocked by one's foot, so that if she was crying, they could help rock her to sleep. But even then, most nights he was awake, holding her and rocking her in a chair. It was peaceful.
Something tells me he's in a... From what I've been told about... I know some things about him. I'm positive not as much as you. But in this place he is in, I'm told he's being quite the nuisance. To some probably very bad people.
If it's bad people, I can see that.
I'm sure he's making the whole family proud, but...
I hope so.
He's getting himself in hot waters currently.
She nods slowly at that. Finish your food. Don't...
We're going to bring some back to some friends outside of the city, but yes.
Take your time. She will take a few... Like when you say that, she starts organizing it, and she puts it in the little wrap bag, and sets it off to the side.
Just so you know, Guru, she may get upset at how little Axel eats.
She has been watching him, and there's definitely like she like you know where like they rub their fingers together, just like I want to go over there and just pinch your bones to make sure that you're actually eating food.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
she's
has
not
got
quite
that.
like that.
Well, not quite, but she looks like she wants to, but she's like, no, I'm not like that. No.
She got used to Kalir's appetite in this boxer now.
I mean, that was years ago.
This is a mother.
He will
It's just mama instincts.
stand up and courageously just extend his hand. It was a pleasure meeting you, Miss Mashuk.
And you as well. Please, if nothing else, please tell Clear I love her.
With pleasure.
Thank you.
I'll look to the rest of the two. Will that be all for here currently then?
Mirror nods. Let's get moving.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys are able to step out. Fivin, as you guys exit, just kind of is like, did that go well? Is that
I'd
what you would
say
consider
so.
well? Okay, good. Just
I think we had some losses, but overall it was a net gain of information.
that's good.
So yes, let's head back, I'd say.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Did the 21 get Zadim anything?
You noticed that there were various people who were like just causing bits of disturbances and whatnot. When she entered the bar, there were like a few people who still kept causing it, but like people who actually saw her enter the place. You saw more than a few of them reach over and just like grab other people that were like friends of theirs, probably, and just kind of yank them down, just like sit the fuck down.
Damn.
Basically, the place got just a little less rowdy. Not like when the bar was playing and stuff, like they were still rowdy in that way, but like in terms of like people being like, I'm about ready to stab you, they were just like, shut the fuck up, bro.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Shut the fuck up, Johnny.
Bro.
The cop just walked into the bar.
Bruh.
Bruh!
Excuse me. I wouldn't say cop. This was less of like a, oh man, shit, it's cops. It's like more of a, just sit down, just act natural.
Grandma walked into the bar and everyone wants to...
Well, she's hardly a grandma.
I don't know how old this lady is.
Yeah, she's hardly a grandma.
I guess we go back to Nivara and Clear.
My tank top fucking strap wrapped around my headset, Mike!
That's what that sound was.
Oof.
Alright, so you guys head back and you meet up with the two you left outside.
Mm-hmm.
Navarre has just been trying to keep Clear calm by distracting her.
She's still looking pretty nervous.
Yeah.
We met your mom.
How was she?
She seems like a very pleasant lady.
She's nice.
Virgic will hand her the leftovers that her mom wrapped.
Oh!
I don't feel hungry.
She didn't have any answers for us. She did say that your dad has a study and might be worth you looking into it.
I can't go in there.
She said she can't take the information out of the house.
She's looking like she's actually kind of almost resembling a wolf in a way, or like a dog. She's just kind of constantly looking down at the ground, like head kind of drooped. She
She
like
had ears
avoiding
that
eye
went down.
contact, kind of.
If that tail would be tucked between her legs.
Yeah.
If you're worried something might happen between us and I'm sure your mother, you should be safe.
She very was very clear about defending you if anything happened.
And honestly, she'd probably be better at defending you than any of us could be in that town.
From what I can tell, that town owes her a good bit.
Okay.
May I ask you a question? What are your opinions on your father?
I don't know.
Did you want to go see your mom?
Yeah.
Let's go see your mom then.
Zadim,
Yeah.
what's your passive perception? Also for everyone else.
16.
16. Okay.
Mine is 16.
Lower than most people.
What
Minus.
does advantage on perception give you again? Is that a +5 to passive?
Don't think it gives you anything too passive. It's
it
just
doesn't.
too active.
What doesn't?
Generally doesn't give you.
Advantage.
I
It's,
think advantage is usually a +5.
it's effectively a +5 to a roll for an active check, but I generally don't say it affects the passive.
Bright Eyes has
I
a
mean, that's
17.
what it says in the rules, but yeah, so that's how you roll it.
So you see Bright Eyes just kind of like darting her head back and forth a little bit. She's looking at some brush, kind of rustling.
16 passive doesn't get it. That's terrifying.
Well, they rolled a stealth check to beat your perception.
Gross.
And you watch as this little field mouse just kind of hops around right near your group.
Should have known.
What the fuck is this mouse?
You watch as the mouse just kind of stares at you, and for a moment they're just kind of like watching you all, and then looks over to Claire.
That's probably Mama Bear then.
And then the mouse begins to grow in size and turn into your mom, Claire.
She immediately goes from like whimpery kind of wolf to like excited, and she is just like, "Mommy!" and she goes and hugs.
You crush her a little bit because you definitely got more strength than her, but she hugs you back as strong as she can, just kind of wiggling you back and forth as much as she can for someone in full plate, which is not much. But like, that's my sweet baby. So she's just like kissing you all over your face, and then she just like kind of bonks her head against yours. Just
Claire's legit crying.
I'm fucking crying.
There's your head against her, just like, it's okay, Mommy's here. Mommy's got you. There's my little Kalir. Smart baby.
I've missed you so much.
I missed you. You had to leave, and I mean, you were just rude, and you came back, and I figured when I was speaking to your friends that when they said that they were going to be bringing it to people who are outside the city walls, if I followed them, I might get a chance to see you again, and I didn't want you having to actually walk through the city. I have ways to get you in, but I wanted to see you first. Look at you! She like pushes you back a little bit so she can actually like see all of you. Look at all of this. What? I don't even know what it is. Did you do this?
Yeah.
No.
I made it myself.
You are just. She cups your cheeks in both hands. You are far too clever for your own good. I don't understand half of what this does. This like lifts your arm up, like starts poking at your armor. This you made this? You no.
Yeah. I went to lots of different places, there's different countries. I met these people in Halo, and him, he points to Axelrod, in Tamdorf.
Back in for another hug.
And she's just like, yeah, she like demonstrates, because I think like, yeah, Bashut would know about like the leg wound because she probably treated it.
Has it been treating you well? Has it actually?
Khalil's just like, she demonstrates like actually just walking and stuff and running, and there's no limp or anything.
My fast little baby.
Unfortunately, I can't move properly without it. But
I can see that they were not very kind to your leg. But that is why I have been practicing a few things myself. Do you want to go home, Clear? Not through the not through the town. Do you want to go home?
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, come here. Come. Motions you all together. Do you want to leave the horse here? Young man, can you watch the horse? Riven's just like, yeah. Niven. No, Fiven.
Fiven.
You're gonna get there eventually.
Me looking at the name, just going, because it's kind of that translucent thing, and I had it over another name. Like I can get this without looking, and I had to drag it away, just like, dang it. So Fiven, and Fiven just like, yeah. It looks to her, looks back to you guys, just like, is that alright with you guys?
If it's what Clear wants, then it's what she wants.
Wait, what? Leaving Fiven behind?
Yeah.
Fiven and
Fiven.
Spartacus. Basically, basically what your mother's saying.
Oh yeah,
the cart
she's fine
won't
with
fit.
it. Yeah, Khalil's fine with it.
Okay. He'll watch the cart for you, and she motions you all together and walks towards the tree. Motions to like, come on, walk through. And this just looks like a tree for a little bit, but as you walk towards it, she puts her hand on it, says an incantation, drags her hand up it, and it opens up, and you can see into a little courtyard area.
Yo, she got transportation.
Yo.
That's
What? No,
shit right here.
Roll an Arcana check.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
15. Well, I'm walking now.
Well.
I don't think I would know about this.
I'm not even gonna try.
This is fucking perfect.
Oh,
They spent enough time that they synergized in VR.
Oh my goodness. Let's see, make sure I'm saying it's the right one. I don't want to say the wrong one.
Transport vehicles. The wrong one is tree stride.
Yeah, because this is not within 500 feet of each other. Yeah.
Tree stride sounds cooler, but it's worse.
No,
Yeah.
It is.
That's why I made it transportation.
Yeah, you both barely meet the DC for it too, because it's a level 6 spell.
That's big druid level stuff right there.
Mm-hmm. As she has you all walk through, and you enter into a courtyard that has this very large tree in it. The tree itself has a number of flowers that are beginning to slowly begin to bud on them. Not fully blooming or anything like that, but they're like these little black buds that are starting to sprout forth little by little as spring is clearly showing its leaves, if you will. And you see a few other people who are just kind of like tending to the place, kind of look over, and they see you all, and at first they're like, they kind of like look at each other, and then they see Clear's mother walk through, and they're like, madam, welcome home. Is there anything you need? And she kind of waves them off. No, I'm just bringing Clear and some friends. Clear! Oh, we've heard so much about you. Yes, you're welcome here. Do you need to show? Nope, I will lead them around. You, and they kind of like bow, and they, kind of scuttle
Yeah,
off.
Khalid's just like eyes open wide, like
Yeah, she sends them off like shoot, shoot, shoot. Too many voices, too many people. Shoot, shoot. Sorry about that. I've had to expand a few things with your father's estates, and it got a bit much for me.
Okay.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too much for you. We used to be able to do all of this on our own, just the three of us, but having a few extra hands helps. Especially since you're, well, enough about that. What would you like to see first? You want to see your room? You want to get some food? Do you want to see something else?
She, Khalid's just like I want to see my room again.
Oh, come on. She will lead you all through the place. It's like the best way I can kind of give you guys for like a visual thought process of how this place looks is the center area has the big tree. It's kind of like a Japanese estate where it's just a single story, but it's like this big box. And when I say big, I mean it's a fairly big estate for the plot of land that it takes up. And there's a number of just like little walkways just kind of going around the center area that will lead to other rooms and thereby other rooms and such as that. So it's kind of like a ring within a ring within a ring of the estate, if you will. So again, it's pretty big. But as she kind of goes through them, she'll eventually lead you towards one of the rooms where she opens the door. And it's, Khalid, what sort of stuff would you have had in your room? Just give me what the last thing you remember of your room was, and then I'll tell you how it's changed a little bit.
Well, lots of toys.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of toys.
Mm-hmm.
Had some just kind of half-finished science projects kind of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but like with magic to some extent, and then a few books. Yeah, she probably had like a bookshelf with loads of books on it.
Mm-hmm.
She probably only read a few of them though.
Mm-hmm.
And lots of pillows.
You enter the room, and the pillows are they're changed a little bit. They're not the ones that you like remember like as from your memory, but they're still very soft, very fluffy looking. Bookcase looks like it's doubled in the amount of books that were on there before, with a whole bunch of new books that you do not remember being there. The science projects are put away in a lot more safe looking areas. One of them is it looks like it's got wrapped up completely by vines with the little sign in Orcish that says warning, meltdown occurred, don't touch till we can fix this.
Oh my god!
One of your science projects kind of got, when they were moving it, got a little bit too close to another one, and they kind of melted each other. But your mother wanted you to see what happened when the two of them combined, so she's just like, don't touch it until we can fix it. But I also want Kalia to see this.
What happened to it?
They like the two pieces like of two different projects got too close to each other, and they melted into each other. And so it looked like this Frankenstein-looking thing.
Okay, right. I thought you meant like it created like a whole new magic item or something like that.
No,
that would have been hilarious.
It would have been like, I created a new magic item. Yes, no, they literally just.
It's just
glomped.
amalgamation.
They just fused.
The fused, yeah. It's just like, that's not how that should look. Oops.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, that went quite wrong.
I thought so, but I needed to make sure with you, because if it went right, I didn't want people to mess with it. So.
Oh no, that's rubbish now.
Okay, well, we can throw that out in a bit. And you also see that like all the toys are kind of put away, and most of them are like, I imagine, like science project stuff where you can like fiddle around with them, and like Ruby's Cubes, things like that. There's a few new little ones. They look to be more a little bit more nature themed, but you guess your mother's been thinking about you getting mostly books. Books seems to be the big thing that she's like, if I can just have enough books, this will be perfect for when she gets back.
It's like the Christmas present. It's just like, I got you your favorite mathematician.
Oh my god!
She's trying.
Yeah, she tries.
Yes. But yeah, and the place, it smells. It's like this kind of like being like in a place that's like you got bits of tension, but it smells like home. I know this is a
Claire
weird thing to say, but
immediately
yeah.
dives onto the bed. And,
You hear clang clang, bounces a little bit.
yeah, and she's like cuddling onto the pillows and stuff.
You see your mother kind of reach over and kind of druidcraft some of the dirt and stuff just kind of off your shoes and such. Just like, let's not get the bed too dirty after you've just gotten home. Kind of chucks it outside, just like. Although she reaches over and she pulls a flower out and just kind of pins it in your hair. There we go, much better.
Yeah.
It's just so fucking precious. I'm crying.
She pulls out a chair and just kind of sits down. This is where she used to live. It was smaller. Well, the buildings were smaller. We had only 2 rings before. The 3rd ring was brought in when your father's employers began helping to expand it before he disappeared. But they made good on their word. They finished the final ring, and it's been it's been hectic, but I was able to keep your room as close as I could to immaculate. Sorry again about those 2. That was me trying to figure out what it was that you had done with them, and I guess when I put them down they were too close, and next thing I knew I was smelling something that was quite foul. Needless to say, I figured you would enjoy seeing that, even if it's just rubbish. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have touched it.
I have no idea what it is.
I don't either.
I must have been pretty crazy as a child.
Yes, Clear, you were remarkable. Crazy as could be, and it was wonderful. You were wild. And I loved it. I still love it. I still love you.
In the future they called me the Iron Wolf because I came across a pack of wolves and they took me in after I kind of like I mean they were a bit like angry, so I growled at them because they're pretty aggressive and I wanted to keep them away, and then they let me in as part of the pack, and we ran around together. It was really fun.
You see her just enraptured by this, just listening and just completely just, ooh. She just like doesn't know what to say besides, really? Wow. That must have been something indeed. You're the Iron Wolf. And here I thought it was some rapscallion out there. No, it's just my daughter being her wild little self. The iron part certainly makes sense now, doesn't it? Daughter of mine using iron. I didn't teach you how to do that. Like, she doesn't sound like she's being dismissive of it. She's just like, no, I didn't teach her how to do that, but I'm proud of her nonetheless. She gets it from, well, she gets it from the smart side of the family. The wolf part of it is all me.
Mom.
Yes.
You know the imaginary friend I had?
Yes. I remember them.
It turns out that's part of my dad.
Huh?
It was like his soul or something. Like part of it was like split up. And it found me.
You see her look at you thoughtfully for a moment, kind of rubbing her hands together before she kind of like nods. She nods at that and just, huh. Is it okay if I take you to your father's workroom, Khalil?
Okay.
Do you want your friends coming with, or just you and I? Just, are you comfortable with them being here?
Yeah, that's okay.
All right. She kind of like squints at everyone else for a second before she nods, just like, all right, if she trusts you, I'll trust you, but you don't cause any trouble now. But she
There's
stands up.
a hint of like that. This is just like this is a mere taste of the kind of look she can give, like the look.
Oh yeah. You think that this is a mom look? No. This is the mom look level 1.
There are 15 levels.
If you get to the 15th level, you better hope that you can run. But yeah, she will take you guys, kind of lead you along, and
Why did that just remind me of Jake from Adventure Time talking about the tea?
you stay away from
Adventure
tier.
Time.
Yeah, you're right.
My sister, you stay away from tier 15!
Oh my gosh. But she will lead you guys more towards the inner area, and when she gets to a certain part, she actually opens the door and opens a second door that's kind of hidden away in the wall, which leads to a staircase going down. And Claire, you've seen this before. This is where your father would come out of when you were growing up. You actually were down there a few times working with him. But she leads you all downstairs, and when you actually get down there, the room is covered with sigils, runes all over the walls. And quite clearly, it is not like written on, just like some of it's written on the walls, some of it's carved into the walls. The mix and match of it means that trying to like just take an etching of it wouldn't quite work, and just trying to copy it all down would be arduous because of how much wall space is covered. You can see now why it's like a case of you can't just take his research, because it's all over the walls.
This fucker planned.
You wanted to make sure that if he was useful, that no one could ever take away that usefulness. Like you can like look it over, but it will take you, like if you were just trying to sit in this room and stay in this room, you would need her permission first, which no one's gotten, and 2, you would need to spend time researching this. But you've seen this before, and it's kind of like you're looking over. It's like none of it made sense to you before. Now you're kind of looking over tiny little bits and pieces that you're looking through, like, huh, I understand some of that now. Hey, I'm learning. But as she goes in, she goes towards a desk area that has a few different papers on it, which, kind of looking them over, they don't look that important. And there's carved little bits of circular discs on the table, and most of them look like they've been moved around in some regard at some point. But she reaches over to one of them, she kind of turns it over in her hand and sits down, and she looks at you all for a second. She's like, "Clear. Catch this." She tosses it to you.
Do we just say that she catches it?
You catch it, yeah.
Alright.
You look at it.
It's check!
Yeah, no. You catch it. And you all see that she catches it, and it's just a plain disc, and she's like, "You see this, right? It's very simple. looks like it's got things that your father would have written, and you can see just with your abilities as an artificer that it's got a number of runes etched into it. It's rather clever, but it's not fully an artificer sort of thing. It's very different. And then you watch as your mother reaches into a pouch and she pulls out one very similar to the one that you're holding. And she's like, "I'll catch this one." And she tosses it to you. And when you catch this one, you kind of turn over your hand. As you're holding it, a faint grayish glow starts to illuminate from the runes.
On the wall or on the disc?
On the disc.
Okay.
And as you watch, you don't quite understand it, but you watch your mother just kind of exhale slowly and just kind of nod to herself.
What?
I should have known. I should have been faster, I think.
What?
That was your father's. We both know your father was a clever man. You would agree, right?
I don't really know much about him, but yeah, he seemed to be.
He told me about these discs he was making. He was going to make one that if he should fade, disappear without my knowing, I could find such a disc in his room, and that I'd always be with him, and that he'd always be with me. When he disappeared, when I got the news of it, I had already let you be playing around here a few times. I never considered that your insightful, playful little hands might have brushed across his disc before me.
What?
He was prepared that if he was betrayed, that he would leave part of himself here. But it was supposed to be something I picked up.
What? Kelly just pulls out the club and she's like, "But he appeared from the club."
Yes, and that's probably something he created in order to protect you as best he could from wherever he may be at this other side of a gateway, as your friend mentioned. Originally, he was within the coin you're holding, the disc, and he put as much as he could into that so that he would have a way to bond with us.
Oh.
You, in this case.
Okay. Apparently he's not here right.
No, your friend said he's on the other side of a
No, I was attacked by a weird, black, foggy demon thing, and apparently he saved me, but I can't feel his power anymore.
As you're saying that, you see the coin kind of flash a bit, like pulsing with light. And while you're holding it, you're starting to feel a little bit more of your power starting to slowly ebb back. Just a little bit.
I am now level 1.
God, that would suck.
Roll
no, level 1 warlock immediately.
roll an insight check real quick.
Oh boy.
You're not paying attention to it. You're focused on talking with your mom. Technically, you've gotten all of your warlock powers back while you're holding the coin, but you don't know that.
Infamous clear wisdom.
He's probably just recovering. He put all of himself into it, and if it took all of himself to show up and protect you, then he hasn't lost his bull-headed stubbornness and wild, eccentric craziness.
He was wearing this weird armor. Like, strange. He looked like a knight. Like from those fairy tales I read.
He would be the sort to fashion armor like that. She reaches over and she holds out some papers to you.
I take them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking them over, they are designs of various fairy tale inspired armors that a warsmith might have made, like yourself. Some of them being more like medium armors, to be like, kind of like essentially different models of something. Yeah. We're going to be wrapping up soon, no worries. She kind of motions to it. These are... And one of them, as you're looking through, it's very much a prototype drawing of it, but it has elements of what you saw him wearing. He always did like to try and bring what we couldn't see to life and light.
So he said he's stuck in the inverse plane. It's like if it's like if you went into the tree, but you came out, and it was this weird fantasy world. Like it was like you stepped into the fairy tale.
That does sound like it would be a very interesting thing to happen to you. Very dangerous thing, perhaps, if you did not enter a safe fairy tale.
You wouldn't know if there was any portals around here, like the tree thing, but like in the air.
Specifically, not fully, but I do know that there's been a number of different events that have been, well, stirring up various lords in Corvin. A number of cities have actually gone silent. Mostly to the east of the desert. Perhaps there might be something there.
Oh, is there anything? The inverse plane has a lot of vampires, and so it's like kind of an undead sort of place.
Maybe not the desert then. Maybe the mountains? There are mountains near the desert. Only thing I remember really about the mountains of the desert is that they're... Not the mountains, sorry. The vampires of old was that old adage about keeping them in the sunlight to burn them away, but beyond that... Maybe fire? Maybe. Sorry, I'm not much help with that.
Running water killed one, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Though we had like this really short friend called She's just bringing her hands to her temple. Bo, he like made water spawn out of like nothing, and it was magic, and the vampire just started like hurting and stuff. Well, he just like he wasn't so hurt, he was burning, turning to ash or something.
Alright.
Guru.
Hmm?
Is there anyone, like, what would be the closest one I know of?
That would be the closest one.
Fuck, dude. The nearest portal to here would be, to where your father is, would be in Halo.
Did Dad ever tell you where he was going?
He was supposed to just go towards the capital. That
Where's the capital?
we'll put that on the map for you.
Also, with
Let's
the
remember, this place has had it in multiple different areas, but the capital that she'll point out on the map is going to be right here.
Okay, is the desert / mountains in the way of that?
It's more to the north, but you could swing up north and then go back south.
Okay.
Kalir,
Hmm.
if you wish, I can try to get in contact with some people that, because I don't know of every portal. I'm not all seeing. I'm not all knowing. So it's like, from what I know, the closest one is in Halo. But I can ask around and ask some people I know that know a lot more about this than me, and see if there's any portals in this.
That would be good.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
happy to help. I'll start looking into that tomorrow when I can get the spell for it.
In the meantime,
Guru,
I
you
can...
do allow the thing that allows me to switch a spell. The
Yeah,
UA thing.
it's just
yeah,
you're switching one spell for one spell.
Yeah. Okay.
But for everyone...
This,
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask a final question.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like, did Dad, did he leave anything behind other than this?
He did. And she will... Basically, you watch her just cast a spell and reach into the stone and pull out a box. And she basically stone shapes it back and then back over as she pulls out a rather long looking box, and she flips it open and shows you that it is a weapon. It's not fully completed. It doesn't have a power source or anything like that. He mentioned that, and I kept it in my mind all these years, but supposedly it is something that, once it's started, is meant to be very, very dangerous and very useful. She closes it and offers it to you.
Ah,
I don't know if it'll help
she'll
you much, but
take it.
I'm sure you'll make better use of it than I will. Now, I will take care of you in the meantime. So, anyone want dinner? And I'll say that will be where we end the session.
Sounds
This
good.
was the most precious shit. I'm fucking crying.
Is juicy.
Bye. Fuck the juicy tea. Bye. me! I'm here for this clear mom contest. Two
I'm
fucking
here for
wonderful women. Fuck the story.
End of the campaign. We're just staying here.
This is fine.
If you decide to just end the campaign, try and end the campaign and end it here, I will put a fire
God
under
will
your
send an
butt.
army.
I will put a fire under your
I
butt.
will chase you right out of the town again, Khalil.
To be fair, I've already made it clear that other people do occasionally come here to look at the markings on the walls and stuff. So yeah, I could totally do that. You're not the only person who takes a look at this shit, but you are going to have the most time to do so. However
Oh,
long you want to
yeah.
stay in Delanesh is up to you, but know that if you need a safe escape, she can transport via plants you out of the city, and then you can go back to your original task. And don't forget, you're still looking for the Paladin and Druid. Also, the name of the capital, she tells you as well, is Soul Ward.
That goes in the note.
Yep,
I will be grabbing sending in the morning, by the way.
I imagined.
What's this blue circle?
Which the blue circle is where the air trap is.
Oh,
Just so that you would be aware of where that is in case you guys wanted to be like, that's where we got the stuff from. So, for everyone watching with us, thank you all so much for watching. This has been a fun time. Hopefully no audio issues. Hopefully no audio issues. And until next time, we've been What Team Comp, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Bye.
yeah.